and 2/3 scoreless innings in the big leagues. He certainly made a nice impression. Just a numbers game right now.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. A swing and a miss. Strike two. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pettit changing up and had the big hitter Jorge Cantu well out in front. You know, Jorge has really been in a power slump, but not a hitting slump. I mean, he's maintained a decent average, 281 coming into this game. The last 20 games, he's hit 300. There goes Uggla. The pitch fouled away. And Uggla will come back and will do it all over again. 2 outs, 3 and 2. So it's not as though Cantu's making a lot of soft outs and striking out a lot. He's getting his share of hits. He's not getting his share of home runs. Hit 7 in April, 1 in May, 1 in June. There goes the runner again on 3 and 2, and that pitch is low. Cantu will take his base. So he draws a walk, and with 2 outs, Petit, at least so far, can't get out of the inning. Didn't get a whole lot of help from Augie Ojeda. Now, that ball that was hit to him by Dan Uggla turned out to be an infield hit for Dan. He'll take it. He moves down to second. Cantu at first base. Cody Ross the batter. Cody's hitting .281. 14 homers, 48 batted in. Cody here in the month of July, as hot as a July firecracker, hitting .409. Here's the pitch to Cody. High fly ball out toward left center, and racing over there, Hara. He'll pull it down. That's all for Cody, and that's all for the Marlins. They leave a couple, and Petit got out of it. The Diamondbacks are coming to bat. You're listening to the Florida Marlins Radio Network. They had lost 17 of 23. They were in Colorado, lost the first game of a series there, and Mark Reynolds, their third baseman, teed off on the club. Was critical of teammates, not playing hard, not doing what they need to do to win games. And since he made that call on his teammates, they've won 5 straight. Pitch fouled away to the right. Strike 2. Lopez up. Ojeda to follow. Then Justin Upton. Andrew Miller at 6'7". 24-year-old delivers. Sails one high and outside. John Baker behind the plate. Jorge Cantu, Dan Uggla, Emilio Bonifacio, and Wes Helms on the infield. The pitch. Low and inside. Chris Coughlin and Cody Ross and Jeremy Hermida play the outfield. Well, we saw Hanley take batting practice, and we saw Hanley hit some balls into the seats here. Here's the 2-2, and a ground ball sharply hit. Nice play by Cantu. Has it. The pitcher gets over there to cover. Miller, I thought for a moment, was going to have trouble getting there, but he did. And it goes 3-1. It was one of those plays. Cantu got up. He looked for Miller. He thought, I think, that Miller was just a little bit late in breaking. And so he took one quick step as though he was going to try to beat Lopez to the bag. Then he sized it up, saw that Miller was going to get there, and the out goes 3-1. Augie Ojeda will bat, switch hitter, and he'll hit right-handed against the lefty Andrew Miller. The pitch to Ojeda, and it's inside and a ball. So they use the veteran Ojeda really to fill in a lot of places. He has made 24 appearances at shortstop. Here's the ball drilled by Ojeda out into right, and he's got a base hit. He's also played some third base for them, some second base. Well, he came into this game 2 for 17, and he's got a base hit to right field. Here's Justin Upton. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the Florida Marlins LP and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Florida Marlins LP. 1 out, double play depth on the infield. Miller delivers, and the pitch is fouled off by Justin Upton. He's hitting .291, 15 homers, 48 batted in. However, He has one hit in his last 30 at-bats. That one hit was a home run here against San Diego on Monday. Hit it off Walter Silva. Here's the pitch. Check swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. We've all been saying and talking about the Padres, and the Marlins will see them soon, that you got to check the books. See who's playing for San Diego. Check some of these first names out. Here's the 1-1 in there for a called strike.
Maybe get them to wear some of those "Hello, my name is" stickers when we play the Padres after the All-Star break.
We will definitely have some homework to do on the new San Diego Padres. Justin Upton got out. He's right back in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Andrew Miller looks over at the runner Ojeda, and a soft toss to first base. Ojeda steps back to the bag. Coaching at first, Lorenzo Bundy. Over at third base, Chip Hale. And these Diamondbacks are managed by A.J. Hinch and have been since the 8th of May. That's when they let Bob Melvin go. Here's the pitch. That's high. And now 2-2 to Upton, who steps out. Upton, the younger brother. B.J., Tampa Bay's number 2 pick in 02. Justin Upton, Diamondbacks first rounder in 05. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. Now 3 balls, 2 strikes. After getting ahead, Andrew Miller now goes to a full count. When you break Andrew Miller's season down, and this may be an oversimplification of his 14 starts, but I took a look at the first 7 and then the last 7. And the thing that jumps out is that he has really cut down on walks. He's not walking as many, and he's going deeper into games. And here's a 3-2 pitch, and Upton swings, drives the ball high and deep down the left field line. It's going to be fair, and it's gone. A 2-run home run for Justin Upton. 2-0 Diamondbacks here in the first. Well, Upton is now 2 for 31 with a pair of home runs this week. Mark Reynolds will be the batter. Now, Upton tonight hits the home run to stake Yusmeiro Petit and the Diamondbacks to a 2-0 lead. That's his 16th home run. RBIs 49 and 50. Mark Reynolds took over that series at Landshark Stadium, and he went 7 for 16 and hit 4 home runs against the Marlins. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. 2 quick strikes on Mark Reynolds. Now, we mentioned that Miller had gotten ahead on Justin Upton, but then fell behind. 3-2, a foul ball, and then another 3-2 pitch and a home run. 1-2, ball 1 to Reynolds. Reynolds hit home runs against Josh Johnson, Reniel Pinto, and Dan Meyer in the same game, and Christian Martinez in that series at Landshark Stadium. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. And again, keep in mind that he had gotten ahead. Gerardo Parra is on deck. We're just in the first inning here. The pitch, swing, and a foul ball straight back. Reynolds chased a high pitch, somehow got a piece of it and fouled it back. I think it's probably unfair to say that Mark Reynolds is an all-or-nothing hitter. I think he's better than that. 262 coming in, 24 homers, 62 batted in. He's hit 16 doubles. That big old off-speed breaking ball down and in the dirt, and another full count, 3-2. A lot of pitches here in the first inning. But I think what everybody remembers is that in 2008, Mark Reynolds set a major league record. Striking out. The pitch is up high, and he draws a walk. Well, Wes Helms, a veteran, comes over to visit Andrew Miller and talk to him a little bit there. Miller be out of the stretch, 1 out. Reynolds on at first base. Parra, left-hand batter up here. And we'll see if Andrew Miller can come up with a double play ball. Reynolds steps off his lead, and Miller throws over to first base.
Reynolds 14 stolen bases. He's a threat to run. 6 of those 14 came in the 4 games in Miami in May. He ran wild against the Marlins that week.
Yeah, so you got to figure, why would he stop now? Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Gerardo Parra. Parra batting .286, 3 homers, 7 doubles, 6 triples. He's tied for the number 2 spot in the National League in triples with a half a dozen. Here's the pitch, and Parra takes a strike. Just 22 years old, a rookie. Was brought up May 13th from Double-A ball. Hot as can be right now. 12 for his last 20 over 5 games. Swings here, pops the ball into the air to center. Cody camps under this. He's got it, and Parra is out. And so at least for the moment, Andrew Miller cools him down. Now 2 outs. Reynolds at first. Chris Young coming up. We'll pause for station identification along the Florida Marlins radio network.
You're listening to Florida Marlins Baseball on WAXY South Miami, a Lincoln Financial Group station, 790 The Ticket.
Chris Young batting just .196. He was 0 for 8 in that series at Landshark Stadium. Just 3 for his last 24. Gets in, right-hand hitter. And the pitch. And it's down low, knocked down by the catcher, John Baker. Good play by Bake. That keeps Reynolds at first base. Right after the All-Star break, a 4-game series, Marlins and the Phillies, a Sunday game, July 19th. A 1:10 start. First 10,000 fans get a 2009 Marlins All-Star poster, courtesy of Franklin Communications. Always a nice gift, remembrance. Marlins sending Hanley Ramirez and Josh Johnson to the All-Star game. And, of course, on that Sunday, kids can run the bases in the Diamond Dash after the game. That's the Sunday game. Marlins closing out that 4-game set with the Phils. There goes the runner. The pitch is inside, and the throw down to second, not in time. And there's another steal for Mark Reynolds. Number 15. Diamondbacks up 2-0. Reynolds gets himself in scoring position with 2 outs with that steal. And the pitch was inside to Chris Young for ball 2. Miller delivers. Sails it high and outside. He has really been all over the place, hasn't he? I mean, he's thrown pitches in the dirt. He's thrown several pitches up high. Like that one. He got away with one in that sequence to Reynolds because Reynolds chased it and fouled it back. But for the most part, it's been a struggle for Andrew Miller to locate the strike zone. And then when he does get ahead of the hitter, to put the hitter away. Here's a 3-0. And that's low in the dirt, and it's a 4-pitch walk, and he's put Chris Young on.
And more balls than strikes so far for Andrew Miller tonight. 14 balls, 13 strikes, already 27 pitches. And when we've seen him get into trouble, not only this year, but going back to last year, it's because that pitch count rises high early. This would seem to be the kind of lineup that Miller would have success against. You've got a lot of free swingers on this Arizona ball club. We saw Miller pitch very well against the Diamondbacks in Miami in May. It was one of those 7-inning performances, kept the pitch count down low, but he's not anywhere near the plate. They're not going to chase because he's missing by a mile.
Well, the plate umpire, Chuck Merriweather, he's going to walk out there and break it up. This is Mike Riley's crew. Riley's working at third base tonight. Merriweather's got the plate. Laz Diaz is at first base. Eric Cooper at second, and the crew chief over there at third, Mike Riley. Merriweather breaks things up, and they scatter. Mark Wiley back to the dugout. John Baker coming back behind the plate, reminding everybody there are 2 outs. Diamondbacks at first and second. Tony Clark coming up. 37-year-old veteran of 14 seasons. 0 for his last 11. Hitting 172 in his first 33 games with the Diamondbacks this year. And he has had a lot of time on the DL. He suffered a right hand ligament sprain and missed 41 games. He takes ball one. Big guy at 6'7". Here's the pitch. And a called strike. And now the runners are mixed up and caught off base. They have got Mark Reynolds caught. And in a rundown between second and third. And Reynolds gets tagged out by Dan Uggla. Well, there was a mix-up on the bases because all the runner at second, Mark Reynolds, did was step off a lead. And all of a sudden, here comes Chris Young to second base. A home run by Justin Upton. 2-0 Diamondbacks. End of one on the Florida Marlins Radio Network.
2-0 Diamondbacks as we begin the second inning tonight here in Phoenix. Jeremy Hermida is going to lead off against Yusmeiro Petit, who kicks and delivers. First pitch on the way, and it catches the outside corner at the knees for a strike. Big break for the Marlins. Big break for Andrew Miller as somebody missed a signal. And the caught stealing at third base ends the bottom of the first when the Diamondbacks really had Miller on the ropes. Pitches down and in for a ball, 1-1 to Hermida. Miller threw 29 pitches in that first inning. More balls than strikes. D-backs had two men on with two outs. Young broke for second. Reynolds didn't leave second base. There's a pitch inside and low. 2-1 out of Hermida. And the out on the play caught stealing. 2-5-4. Reynolds out to retire the Diamondbacks. Now Petit with the 2-1 on the way to Hermida. And Jeremy grounds one off to the right. Hermida batting .249 on the season with 8 homers, 30 runs batted in. As a player looks to establish himself in the major leagues, you look to see improvement from year to year. At this point, Hermida seemingly has stagnated from 08 to 09 when you look at the numbers. 2-2, caught the outside corner, called strike 3. Hermida, the first Petit strikeout victim of the night, one down for John Baker. You look at the batting average, he had .249 in 08. He was at .249 into that at bat. Last year, 17 homers, 61 RBIs for Hermida. This year, at this point, he's on pace for 15 homers and 57 RBIs. Numbers very comparable, but just behind last year, where you'd rather see him moving in the other direction. Here's John Baker. He's been swinging a good bat lately. And Petit's first pitch, a fastball away, ball one. Baker 9 for 20 during a 5-game hitting streak. Hit 9 of his last 11. This season average at .261, 7 homers. He's knocked in 25. Petit's pitch grounded right to the first baseman. Clark up with it. Bobbled for a split second. Maintained control. And he steps on the bag for the out. So 2 quick outs for Petit here in the second inning. It'll be up to Wes Helms. Our broadcast tonight being brought to you in part by the Ace Underwriting Group, Florida's insurance source, by 511. Dial 511, a free service of FDOT and MDX. And by AT&T, your world delivered. Helms making his 5th consecutive start at third base with Hanley again out of the lineup. Bonifacio playing shortstop. Petit's pitch in there for a called strike. Petit facing the Marlins for the second time in his career. He threw a great game against the Marlins here in Phoenix last year, back on August the 23rd. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. 0-1 to Helms, a swing and a miss. He chased one down and away. Petit didn't walk anybody, struck out 6, won that ball game 7-1. That's his last big league win, August 23rd of last season. The 0-2 two-out pitch to Helms, dropped on the ground to the shortstop, right at Ojeda. Fires to first for the out, and it's a very easy 1-2-3 second inning. Petit looking for his first win of the year. It's really been a struggle for him so far. Let some early runs in. He's on a nice little roll now as he sets down the side in order in the second. To the bottom of the second, D-backs 2, Marlins nothing on the Florida Marlins Radio Network. Carlin, the switch-hitting catcher, batting right-handed against Andrew Miller, takes a strike. Carlin up from AAA Reno when Chris Snyder went on the disabled list back on June the 23rd. Snyder, the regular catcher. Miguel Montero, the primary backup. He's been playing every day. He's been swinging the bat very well. Pitch missed for a ball. 1-1 out of Carlin. Carlin made his major league debut, 3 stints with the Padres last year. Played in 36 games for San Diego. 1-1 in the air out to right center. Plenty of room as Ross and Hermida come together, and it's the right fielder Hermida who makes the catch. 2 down. Now the pitcher, Yusmeiro Petit, as Andrew Miller has a chance for 1-2-3 second. From advanced storage systems, hydraulic shears, to pneumatic tools, and even high-tech security, Stanley is way more than just great hand tools. Stanley, the official tools of the Florida Marlins. Petit hits right-handed, takes strike 1 from Andrew Miller. Miller picking up the pace as he gets on a little bit of a roll here in the second inning. Here's the 0-1 already. And Petit lines one towards second. Ugla leaps, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 second for Andrew Miller. 2 complete, 2-0 Diamondbacks on the Florida Marlins Radio Network. This game 4 of a 7-game road trip, taking us up to the All-Star break. Marlins dropped 2 out of 3 in San Francisco. Got the win to close that series out yesterday, 7-0 behind Chris Volstad. The complete game 5-hit shutout. Here's Miller against Yusmeiro Petit, and Andrew takes down an in, ball 1. Well, it appears as though the Marlins will need to win here to stay 2 games behind the Phillies. The 1-0 from Petit, a fastball for a strike called. Phillies into the 9th now, leading the Reds 9-6 tonight. Philadelphia beginning the night, 2 games in front of the Marlins. 4 ahead of the Braves, 4.5 ahead of the Mets. 1-1 to Miller up high. The Mets getting pounded by the Dodgers in their own ballpark tonight. 11-2 Dodgers, top of the 9th at Citi Field. 2-1 now to Miller. Hit sharply towards second. Short hop pickup by Lopez. Felipe sidearms to first for the out, 1 down. That's 5 in a row now set down by Petit. Back at the top of the lineup now, Chris Coghlan. Well, all spring, everybody wanted to know how would the Mets avoid a 3rd consecutive September collapse. We may have found the answer. Collapse in May and June. They're in danger of falling 5.5 back, 4 games under 500 with the loss tonight. Coghlan, a line drive out toward left center his first time up. Robbed on a nice running catch by Young. First pitch on the way, and it's taken right over the heart of the plate for a strike. So we told you how the National League East stacks up. These Diamondbacks looking up at the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Rockies in the National League West. The 0-1 to Coghlan way inside. Los Angeles leading big tonight, beginning the night. 7 in front of the Giants, 8 ahead of the Rockies. These Diamondbacks are 17.5 back. San Diego 18 off the pace. 1-1 to Coghlan, grounded off to the right, a foul ball. In the National League Central, St. Louis now a 2-game lead over the Brewers after the Cardinals beat Milwaukee this afternoon. Cubs beginning the night 3.5 back. Cincinnati in danger of falling 4.5 back. The Astros 4.5 back at the moment. It's a tight race. 1-2 to Coghlan. Just missed the outside corner, 2-2. In the American League, the Red Sox lead the East 1 game ahead of the Yankees, 5.5 ahead of Tampa Bay. Toronto sinking like a rock, now 9 back. Tigers lead the Central, 2 games out of the White Sox, 3.5 in front of Minnesota. 2-2 to Coghlan up high. Now the count's full. The American League West, the Rangers begin play tonight, 1 game in front of the Angels, 4.5 ahead of Seattle. That check of the Major League standings brought to you by the Ace Underwriting Group, insurance for all of Florida, because Florida is all they insure. Coghlan on the 3-2, drives one to right field, backing up on it Upton, and he makes the catch. Coghlan 2 fly ball outs. He's 0 for 2. And with the bases clear and 2 down, here's Emilio Bonifacio. Treat your windows to luxury with 5-star quality window treatments from Total Window. It's a better way to see the world. So if you're a wide selection or make an appointment, visit TotalWindow.com/Marlins. Bonifacio, coming out of the Dominican Republic, was originally signed by these Diamondbacks back in 2003. Worked his way up through the organization. Played 11 games, had 23 at-bats for Arizona in 2007. 8 games, 12 at-bats in 2008 before he was traded to the Nationals. Pitch outside for a ball. Emilio then coming over to the Marlins this past winter from Washington. That Scott Olson, Josh Willingham deal. Bonnie out on a foul ball to the third base, and Reynolds made a nice play going over the railing to make the catch in the first inning. Slugs one down the right field line toward the corner. It's a fair ball. It's going to two-hop up against the foul pole. Bonifacio around second. He wants a triple, and the throw into third won't be in time. Bonnie's in head first with a three-base hit. And with two down, the Marlins have a chance with Dan Uggla coming up. It's the fifth triple of the season for Emilio Bonifacio. Bonnie now a 300 hitter. He's 6 for 20 against his former team, the Diamondbacks. He's hit safely now at 14 out of 16. Bonifacio really picking up the pace offensively. He's been very steady at shortstop, too, with Hanley on the mend. Been flawless. Here's Dan Uggla, another former Diamondbacks property, originally drafted in the 11th round by Arizona. RBI chance here, and Dan watches a knee-high strike from Petit. 2-0 Diamondbacks. Marlins left a pair on in the first inning. Now they've got a man at third with 2 outs here in inning number 3. Petit out of the stretch with Bonifacio at third. A long look into his catcher, Carlin. Now the right-hander ready. Throws the 0-1, and Dan takes outside and low. Defensively for the Giants, it's the Diamondbacks. Tony Clark at first base. Felipe Lopez plays second. Augie Ojeda is the shortstop. Mark Reynolds at third. The outfield left to right, Gerardo Parra, Chris Young, and Justin Upton. Luke Carlin catches Yusmeiro Petit tonight. Bonnie walks off in third. The 1-1 to Uggla, and it's a strike over the inside corner. Dan was stepping away. Uggla hit a 3-run home run in the 9th inning yesterday to break the game open in San Francisco. It was his first home run in 12 games. 16 on the season now. 49 runs batted, and has a chance for number 50 here. The 1-2 two-out pitch, grounded back up the middle and speared by the pitcher. Nice play by Petit. And he throws to first to retire the side. So the Marlins get a 2-out triple, but they strand Bonifacio at third. Midway through inning number 3, 2-0 Arizona on the Florida Marlins Radio Network. 0-1 to Lopez, swing and a miss at a change. And they got AAA first baseman Brandon Allen, who many think could be in Arizona by opening day next year. Many also think the D-backs are not done wheeling and dealing between now and the trade deadline. Lopez, one whose name has come up. 0-2 on the way. It's bounced up there, 1-2. Diamondbacks may be reloading, looking forward to 2010 and beyond. Hard to believe this team not only won its division, but got all the way to the National League Championship Series in 2007. Swept by the Rockies in the NLCS. Last year led the West a good chunk of the season. Hot smash toward short. Backhanded, drop, picked up again by Bonifacio. Fires over Cantu's head, and out of play. They will send Lopez to second base. It'll be an E6 all the way. So the leadoff man reaches second for Arizona, trying to extend a 2-0 lead here in the third. The 14th error of the season for Bonifacio, his first at shortstop. Of his 14 errors, if you wonder, 8 of them on throws, 6 fielding. So Ojeda now with a man at second and nobody out. See if Ojeda tries to bunt the man over. Third baseman Helms thinks he might try to. He's in a couple of steps. Cantu, even with the baseline. Miller looks back at second. Pitch on the way. Ojeda squares, pulls the bat back, takes inside. There are a lot of names you hear being bandied about. Doug Davis, one of Arizona's starters, having a nice year in the final year of a pretty good-sized contract. Many think he could be traded. You hear John Garland's name, another one of the D-back starters. Scott Schoenweiss, good left-hander in the bullpen. Chad Tracy, corner infielder. Mentioned Lopez. Ojeda fouls one off to the right. We'll see. Josh Burns, the GM of the Diamondbacks, says this team has a core of young players they're not going to touch. Guys like Justin Upton, Stephen Drew, Mark Reynolds, Dan Herron, having a terrific year. Max Scherzer. But there's some other D-backs who could be had between now and that non-waiver trading deadline. 22 days from now. The 1-1 to Ojeda squares. Takes inside, 2-1. 2 runs, 2 hits, Arizona. No runs, 2 hits for the Marlins. Marlins have made the only error in this ball game, just the 3rd error in the last 14 games for the Marlins. They're playing much better defensively. Miller about to throw his 45th pitch. Ojeda bunts it foul toward the on-deck hitter on the third base side. So 2-2 now to Ojeda, facing Andrew Miller, who threw a great ball game against these D-backs May 21st in Miami. Left with a 2-1 lead. Pitched into the 8th inning. 7 innings plus. Wound up allowing 2 runs on 4 hits. Couple of walks. A career-high 9 strikeouts in that game. Actually left with a 3-2 lead. 2-2 pitch. Chopped towards the third baseman. Helms has it. Looks the man back at second. Fires to first for the out. So Ojeda couldn't get the bunt down. Then it's a ground ball to third and can't get Lopez over. It's a big out. Prevent the advance. Here's Justin Upton, who homered in the first. That game against Arizona back on May the 21st. A ball game that Miller could have won, leaving with that 3-2 lead. But Christian Martinez, making his major league debut, came on and allowed a 2-run home run to Mark Reynolds. D-backs won it 4-3. Upton, the right-handed hitter. Miller's first pitch, fastball, low ball 1. Justin Upton, before that home run in the first inning, was 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts all time against Andrew Miller. Now the 1-0 on the way in the air, right field side, back into the seats, a foul ball. Justin Upton's going to the All-Star game. So is Dan Herron. 2 Diamondbacks representatives headed to St. Louis after the ball game here on Sunday. The All-Star game will be played Tuesday night at Busch Stadium. Herron's going to pitch tomorrow night here against Ricky Nolasco. Great matchup. Pitch is popped foul back into the seats, first base side. 1-2 now to Upton. Upton was batting .320 at the end of June with the home run in the first inning. He's 2 for 31 so far in the month of July. The season average at .293. Down 27 points since the end of June. The 1-2 pitch. Upton takes a fastball a little bit inside. Cabot Stains, you'll find heritage, pride, and commitment in every can. Our performance is legendary. Cabot Stains. Lopez leads from second. 2-2 now to Upton. Up high. Fastball way high. And it's full. 3-2 to Upton. Upton now more home runs and more RBIs than he had all year last year. Played 108 games for Arizona tonight. Justin Upton playing in game number 81. The payoff pitch, and Upton grounds one to third. Helms a couple of steps to his left. He'll look Lopez back, throws to first for the out. 2 down. Miller looking to work around the leadoff error. That put Lopez at second with nobody out. Here comes Mark Reynolds. Well, kids, if you want to make some history, here's how you can. Describe in 500 words or less what the Marlins' new ballpark in Miami means to you and why you want to play a special role in the ceremonial groundbreaking coming up on July the 18th. It's a week from Saturday. Give the best essay. You're going to be invited to participate in the exclusive shovel presentation at home plate. Enter at marlins.com today. Fun essay contest for the kids. Reynolds, with first base open and 2 outs, is going to be walked intentionally. They walked Reynolds in the first inning, and they'll take their chances with Gerardo Parra. And Miller throws one to the backstop. It'll be a wild pitch. Up to third goes Lopez. You don't see that very often. On the second ball in the intentional walk, he fired one over the head of John Baker. There's the 2-0. This one into Baker's mitt, ball 3. And now the 3-0. They make the connection again, ball 4. Intentional walk completed. Baker out to the mound. Here comes Bonifacio into the mound as Parra makes his way to the plate. 2-0 Diamondbacks, bottom of the 3rd. They've got men at the corners with 2 outs. Parra out on a fly ball to center in the 1st inning. 12 hits in his last 21 at bats. 2 doubles, a triple, 3 RBIs in that span. Got off to a great start when he came up from AA Mobile on May the 13th. Reached base safely with a hit or a walk in each of his first 17 big league games. Had a hit in 15 of the 17. Became just the 2nd player in the last 30 years to pick up an RBI in each of his first 5 major league games. The first, Mike Lansing, back in 1993. Hit a home run in his first big league at bat. Parra takes a strike. The 100th player in Major League history to hit a home run in his first trip to the plate as a big leaguer. Parra, a left-handed batter, facing Miller, men at 1st and 3rd, 2 down, the 0-1 way high. And the outfield plays Parra more or less straight away. Hermida and Wright a few steps off the line. The 1-1 on the way, and Parra fights one off, fouls it into the 3rd deck along the 3rd base side.
Well, the agony is over for the Mets. The ball game has ended. The Dodgers win it 11-2.
Ouch. Rough night for Livan Hernandez. I think it was 8 runs over 4 innings for Hernandez tonight. 1-2 to Parra in the dirt. Short hop stop by Baker. Did Brad Lidge close it out for the Phillies? I think he did.
They beat the Reds 9-6.
Jamie Moyer wins it. Jason Worth and Chase Utley both at their 20th home runs. 2-2. Parra grounds one to first, foul. Chopped it over the head of Cantu. Down the right field line, just barely foul. Are now 45 and 38. 7 over. They're playing better. Finally winning some games at home. Marlins at the moment 2.5 back. Runners lead. Lopez from 3rd, Reynolds from 1st. There's a ground ball, base hit through the right side. That's going to score Lopez, and the Diamondbacks lead it 3-0 here in the 3rd. Mark Wiley out to the mound for a 2nd time tonight. Reynolds moves up to 2nd base. Diamondbacks 2 in the 1st, now 1 here in the 3rd. And as they look for their 6th win in a row, they're off to a quick start against Miller and the Marlins.
Well, they gave him the left-hand hitter to get out of the inning. Walked Mark Reynolds intentionally to bring Parra to the plate, which should have worked to Andrew Miller's benefit. But this is one of those nights where Andrew has just been all over the place with his pitches. Hasn't been at all consistent in the strike zone. It's been a struggle for him right from the start.
He's been more effective lately. We had seen him pitch into the 7th at least in 4 of his last 5 starts, each of the last 3 in a row. But it doesn't look like he's going to get that far here tonight. He's already up to 62 pitches. He's on the short end of a 3-0 score here in the 3rd. Here's Chris Young, 2 on, 2 outs. And Young takes down an in-ball 1. Young walked in the 1st inning in a 3-for-24 slide. It's been a rough year for Chris Young. 32 homers, 27 stolen bases. A rookie in 07, swing and a miss. Saw those numbers decline to 22 homers, 14 steals last year. This year he's hitting 196. He's been remarkably consistent. 198 in April, 159 in May. Spiked up to 246 in June, hitting 176 so far in July. The 1-1 offering, too far inside, ball 2 to Young. Remember when the Diamondbacks came to Miami in mid-May, there was talk that Young might be headed to AAA if he didn't pick things up quickly. That hasn't happened. He's continued to struggle, and he's still playing a lot. Well, those playing time's been cut a little bit. Pitch up high for ball. It's 3-1. At one time, he was the leadoff hitter for the Diamondbacks. They talked this spring about dropping him into the 3-hole in the batting order. He's batting 6th tonight. He's hit 7th and 8th a lot lately. And he grounds one toward third, a foul ball. Count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. With Reynolds at second, Parra at first. 2 down here in the third, a run in. An unearned run. And any runs that could follow here will all be unearned. A throwing error by Emilio Bonifacio ignited this inning. Miller had a shot to get out of it, though. Couldn't do it. Payoff pitch, runners going. Young hits one high in the air, a long way down the left field line, but it is hooking foul. Young's got some pop, even though only the 6 home runs so far this year. 54 over the last 2 seasons. The home run beginning to bite Miller lately. 4 home runs in his last 3 starts, including the Upton blast tonight. Only 2 home runs allowed his first 10 starts of the season. Payoff pitch with the runners going. Young slams one to deep left field. Back goes Coghlan. Track, wall, and he leaps. Can't get it. It's off the wall. That'll score 2. Young around second. He wants a triple. Coghlan throw coming in, and it won't be in time. A 2-run triple for Chris Young, and it's 5-0 Arizona. Some 2-out lightning for the Diamondbacks. 3 2-out runs here in the third inning. And the Marlins bullpen will get active. Looks like Burke Badenhop beginning to loose. That Marlins bullpen near the foul pole in the right field corner. So Andrew Miller, who pitched so well against Arizona back in May, having a rough time here tonight. Here's Tony Clark, and Clark swings and misses. Strike 1. 2 in the first, 3 in the third. 5-0 Arizona. The 0-1. Clark taps one foul. 5 runs and only 4 hits. The D-backs have been aided by 3 walks and a costly error by Bonifacio here in the third. 0-2 on the way, and Clark slams one toward left center. That's going to get in for extra bases. Young can walk home, chasing near the 413 marker Ross. And jogging into second with an RBI double, Tony Clark. 6-0 D-backs. All the runs with 2 outs, 4 in this inning. Now Luke Carlin, the catcher, the 8th man to bat here in the Diamondbacks' third. There was a man at second with 2 outs. They intentionally walked Reynolds instead of dealing with one of the league's top run producers. Miller had the chance then to go after the left-handed hitter, Gerardo Parra. Parra, an RBI single. Chris Young followed with a 2-run triple. Clark, a run-scoring double. And that's going to be the end of the night for Andrew Miller. Here's Freddie Gonzalez out of the dugout. And he's going to make the call to the bullpen. Andrew Miller, so Burke Badenhop pressed into duty here in the bottom half of the third inning. Arizona scored 4 unearned runs in this inning, opening up a 6-0 advantage over the Marlins. First of 4 here at Chase Field. Luke Carlin's going to be the batter with Tony Clark at second. 2 outs here in the third. Badenhop has been terrific. He's on for the 21st time. This is 20th relief appearance, a 5-3 record, a 3.48 ERA in 44 innings. He's allowed 18 runs, 17 earned on 45 hits, 14 walks, 29 strikeouts. Opponent's hitting .271 against the right-hander. Has the pants pulled up just under the knees. Shows a lot of black sock as he looks in for the sign from Baker. Right-hander ready. First pitch to the catcher, Carlin. Strike called. Belt high over the outside corner. Carlin, the 8th man to bat in this inning. 4 runs, 3 hits, a walk, a wild pitch, and an error. All the runs unearned. The one strike offering to Carlin. Popped up, shallow left. Out goes Bonifacio. In comes Coughlin. And left fielder puts it away. Baden now comes out of the bullpen and puts out the fire. But the damage is done. 4 runs on 3 hits. A huge error. And a man left to the 4th with the D-backs leading 6-0 on the Florida Marlins radio.
Inning number 4, and the Marlins are down 6-0. They've been out hit 5-2. We'll see if they can get something started against Yusmeiro Petit. It'll be Cantu, Ross, and Hermida here in inning number 4. Jorge walked his first time up. He's batting .281. Petit winds, delivers, gets the pitch in there, a called strike. Tonight's broadcast brought to pitch. Swung on, missed, strike 2. Game also brought to you by 5-1-1. 2 strikes quickly on Jorge Cantu. Petit, the 24-year-old Venezuelan, comes to the plate, and the pitch is chopped back to him. He has the easy hop, throws to first. 1 away. We'll check the Corona out-of-town scoreboard. Kick back and relax with an ice-cold suspended game. Took them all of 7 minutes to finish it off. Washington beat Houston 11-10. A walk-off win for Washington at Houston. The pitch, called strike. When the game was suspended, they were playing in Washington. That was back on May 5th. Well, the Astros don't go back there. So on this scheduled trip in for Washington to Houston, they have to finish the suspended game. It was tied at 10. There's a called strike. In the 11th inning, Miguel Tejada made a throwing error on a possible double play ball. Nyjer Morgan scored the winning run, and Washington wins it 11-10. The pitch missed inside. Cody Ross up here, fly to left his first time up. Jeremy Hermida to follow.
So Nyjer Morgan, who was a Pirate when the game began, scored the game-winning run. And Joel Hanrahan, who was a Pirate when the game ended, got the win.
The pitch, outside and a ball. And they're in the 8th inning of the regularly scheduled game, and the Astros have a 6-4 lead on the Nationals. I believe that's Russ Ortiz and John Lannon. At least at the start it was. Petit to the plate. Cody swings, fouls one off out of play down the left side. 2-2 to Cody Ross. Cody, who lives here in the Valley of the Sun, happy to be home for this series. Not happy to be down 6-0 in the 4th inning, but happy to be home. 2-2. The pitch on the way to Cody, taken low and outside, and ball 3. Phillies won their game, beat Cincinnati 9-6. Jason Worth and Chase Utley both hit home runs for each, number 20. Jamie Moyer the winner, and he's now 8-6 on the year. Phils win 9-6 at home against Cincinnati. So Glenn mentioned that home record getting a little better. Pitch misses, and Cody's on with a walk. Second walk given up by Petit. Diamondbacks lead here 6-0, but with 1 out, the Marlins have a runner. Here's Jeremy Hermida. He batted in the 2nd, was called out on strikes. The Phils now 45-38, 2.5 game lead on the Marlins, heading the outcome of this one. Petit delivers, and a called strike. And the Phils now 19-23 at home. They're well over 500 on the road. They're 6 games over, 26-15. But in their home park, Citizens Bank Park, 19-23 with the win tonight. Here's the pitch. And a ball hit on a line to right, and right at the right fielder Upton. He's got it, throws to first. Close play, but safe. Diving back to the bag, or sliding in anyway, Cody Ross. Hermida out on a line drive to right, and they were almost able to double Cody off. So Hermida's 0 for 2. He was 1 for 11 in the San Francisco series. And he's now mired in a deep slump. 7 hits in his last 61 at-bats. John Baker, the batter, grounded to first in the second. 6-0 Diamondbacks here. Bake takes a strike. Dodgers hammered the Mets 11-2. Randy Wolf, the winner over Livan Hernandez. 7th inning at Denver's Coors Field. Braves lead the Rockies 5-4. The pitch is fouled off. Braves a couple games behind the Marlins in the standings. San Diego's at San Francisco. They've just started up at AT&T Park. Giants have an early 2-0 lead. Josh Gear for the Padres. Tim Lincecum for the Giants. Lincecum with a 2-0 lead. If Lincecum pitches like, say, Tim Lincecum, he'll win his 10th.
Yeah, what a 23-inning scoreless streak going into that start tonight. He's been unbelievable.
2 outs here. Ross at first base. Baker the batter. Yeah.
Folks, here will tell you Dan Herron ought to start the All-Star game. I think Lincecum's the guy, though.
Coming off a Cy Young year. In addition to a great first half, pitch down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Baker. Yeah.
He's getting better.
Tampa Bay beat Toronto 3-2 at Minnesota. The Yankees come away with a 6-4 win. Mark Teixeira with a game-winning home run in the 5th inning. All of the scoring in that game was prior to the 5th. The pitch swung on, missed. Baker down on strikes. No runs, no hits. 1 left on base. We're midway in the 4th inning here at Chase Field in Phoenix. 6-0 Diamondbacks on the Florida Marlins radio network. Program. With a donation of $100 or more, your name will be featured on Marlins Vision during pregame activities for all Marlins home games. To make a donation, log on to cornerstonesforkids.com or call 1-877-MARLINS. Marlins baseball, it's where you want to be. Back here at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, Dave Van Horn along with Glenn Geffner, and we got the roof closed. It was 106 degrees outside when the game started. About the same tomorrow. They tell us it's going to go up to 113 degrees here on Saturday. Finishing off the scoreboard, Yankees over the Twins 6-4. And that coupled with the Kansas City win over Boston at Fenway. Royals win 8-6. Here's the pitch. And a called strike. And so we'll check the standings in a moment, but obviously things change there. Yusmeiro Petit, who leads this game 6-0, leads it off here for the Diamondbacks, and Burke Badenhop delivers outside in the ball. So the count goes to 1-1 on Petit, who bats right-handed. Lined out to Dan Uggla his first time up. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. In the last inning, they scored 4 unearned runs to extend their 2-0 lead to 6-0. The pitch. Petit fouls it off at the plate. Cleveland beat the White Sox 10-8. David Huff with his 5th win for the Indians. Kelly Shopik hit a grand slam that propelled the Indians to that win over the White Sox. Ground ball to the left side. Bounce to Holmes. He has it. Throws to first for the out. Petit is out. 5-3. The batter will be Felipe Lopez. He is 0 for 2. He started out the inning with a hard ground ball to short that Bonifacio knocked down and picked it up and then threw high to first base, went into the seats, and Lopez was awarded second, took third on a wild pitch, and scored the first of those 4 unearned runs when Gerardo Parra came up with their first hit of the inning and knocked in run number 1. And then Chris Young tripled to knock in 2, and Tony Clark doubled to knock in 1. Called strike on Lopez. Next pitch grounded on the backhand right side. Uggla throws to first for the out. I miss any scores. Texas and Seattle underway in the third inning at Seattle. Tommy Hunter against King Felix. Scoreless in the third at Seattle. And I think we've covered it all. I was going to tell you about the Yankee win. The scoring in that game took place early. And Teixeira with a game-winning home run in the fifth. There was no scoring after the fifth. He put the Yankees ahead, and they went on to beat the Twins 6-4. There's a called strike.
He had gone 23 games without a home run, longest drought of his career. And the Yankees now tied with the Red Sox.
The pitch and a ground ball to the left side, charged by Bonifacio, has it, throws to first for the out, and Badenhop, since coming into the game in the last inning, has faced 4, retired 4. We've completed 4, and it's 6-0 Diamondbacks on the Florida Marlins radio network.
943 Nationwide Mortgage. Call now before it's too late.
Inning number 5, the Diamondbacks have a 6-0 lead, and the Marlins have Wes Helms to lead it off here. And Yusmeiro Petit into the fifth. He's only allowed 2 hits. There's a called strike. Dan Uggla with an infield hit in the first inning. There was actually a ground ball right to the shortstop, who played it slowly. There was no error charge. Dan got an infield hit. The only other hit, legitimate hit, Bonifacio's triple into the right field corner. That was in the third inning. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wes Helms. Have everybody stand by. We'll give you a chance to identify yourselves in a moment. Here's a 1-1. A swing here and a ball powered into the air right center. Going back, Chris Young. It's going to get over his head. Digging for 2. Wes Helms, he's got a double. That got into the gap and bounced all the way out to the 413 sign in right center. So Helms with a double, his 4th of the season, to lead off the 5th. Now, let's pause for station identification along the Florida Marlins radio network.
You're listening to Florida Marlins Baseball on WAXY South Miami, a Lincoln Financial Group station, 790 The Ticket.
Now Wes Helms with a double, and the Marlins in need of innings, so not surprising at all. Burke Badenhop will try to bunt him over, and he fouled one off at the plate, and that took a bite of Luke Carlin's bare hand. Badenhop up here takes a look at Bo Porter for the side. He's still out of the box. Cabot Stains, you'll find heritage, pride, and commitment in every can. Our performance is legendary. Cabot Stains. Catcher at the visit. We are going to check the standings. Brought to you by the Ace Underwriting Group, insurance for all of Florida, because Florida is all they insure. Told you things would change in the American League East. Red Sox lose, Yankees win. They're tied. Identical 51-34 records. Here's the pitch. Badenhop lets this one go low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The American League Central, the Detroit Tigers are off. But they picked up a half game because the White Sox lost. There's a ball bunted, foul back behind the plate, hits the screen back here. And so did Minnesota. They lose a half game. American League West, Texas has a 1-game lead on the Angels, and Texas into the 4th inning, scoreless at Seattle. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and Badenhop goes down on strikes. But again, the Marlins need him to pitch some innings. The starting pitcher did not get out of the 3rd inning tonight.
Left fielder Chris Coghlan.
That is the 3rd strikeout for Yusmeiro Petit. Chris Coghlan, the batter, he's lined out to center and flied out to right. Philadelphia Phillies win their game, and at the moment have a 2.5-game lead on the Marlins in the East. Cardinals won, Milwaukee lost. Milwaukee falls 2 games behind St. Louis in the Central. Coghlan swings, drives a ball in the air to right, backpedaling to the edge of the warning track. Upton, he's got it. Tagging at second, Helms. He'll go to third. 2 away on Coughlin's fly ball to the warning track in right. Chris now 0 for 3, and Emilio Bonifacio, the batter. Well, when he tripled in the third, the Marlins couldn't get him home. He tripled with 2 outs. Dan Uggla hit a comebacker to Petit. Now, Helms is at third base. We'll see if Emilio can get Wes in, get the Marlins on the scoreboard. Marlins have only had 3 hits. Uggla, Bonifacio, and Helms. 2 down here in the 5th. Petit ready. Here's the pitch. It sails high. Dodgers have a 7-game lead on the San Francisco Giants. Giants have the 2-0 lead with Lincecum on the mound in the 4th inning at AT&T Park. The Dodgers have already won their game, beating the Mets 11-2. So actually the Dodgers at the moment lead 7.5 games. Lead by 7.5 games. Ball 2 to Bonifacio. Last time out against Colorado, Petit worked 3 innings. Pitches fouled back. Start before that against Washington, 4 innings. You got to go back to May 3rd to find his last start. It was at Miller Park in Milwaukee, where he completed 5 innings. And he's done that 3 times this season. 5 innings. Nothing beyond 5. And he's in the 5th inning here tonight. The pitch. And it is a strike, 2-2. "73 pitches thrown by Yusmeiro Petit into this 5th inning. 2 out. Bonifacio back in there. Petit checks, delivers. A swing here. Bonifacio hits the ball in the air to left center. Chris Young is under it. He puts the squeeze on it, and that's all for Bonifacio and the Marlins, who leave Helms at third. Through 4.5, 6-0 Diamondbacks on the Florida Marlins radio network. Here's the pitch. And it's low to Justin Upton. 2-run homer for Upton in the 1st inning. He grounded out to third in the 3rd. You remember O.C. Schreckengast? There's a called strike. No. I think this is a great night to tell you about O.C. Schreckengast.
Is that the common spelling on Schreckengast?
It is your everyday basic Schreckengast. Here's a ball popped into the air, right field, and that's going to drop in front of Hermida and behind Uggla. A pop-up single for Upton. Well, he may have found whatever the doctor ordered to get things straightened out, because he was 1 for 30 coming into this game. He's got a home run. Now he's got a pop-up single. First hit allowed by Badenhop, a bloop hit to right. Mark Reynolds will bat. He's walked twice. O.C. had played for 7 teams in the big leagues. Now, he hasn't played lately, because this story actually comes from the 1914 season. Comes a pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. O.C. was a catcher, been with 7 teams. He was 39 years old. He was best known for being not only the battery mate for and roommate of Rube Waddell. There's a throw to first base when they were with the A's. He was a good defensive catcher, but Schreckengast was an eccentric, they say, off the field. The pitch low and outside. To the point that, remember, he's Rube Waddell's roommate. Schreckengast had it written into his contract that Rube could not eat crackers in bed at night. One ball, one strike. Foul ball back. Now, personally, I think that should be in everybody's contract that has a roommate.
Yeah.
But the days of roommate in baseball, roommates are long gone. But there was a time.
Had there been an incident?
Everybody had a roommate.
Had there been problems with crackers in the past?
Obviously, there were for Ossie. He probably couldn't sleep if Waddell's over in the other bed crunching crackers. On the pitch to Reynolds, called strike 3. The runner takes off, and Upton steals second base. So Reynolds is out on strikes, called out. And Upton steals second, and he has his 12th stolen base of the year. So now with one out, Gerardo Parra, 1 out of 2 on the night, will bat, left-hand hitter. Badenhop checking in with John Baker. Chance for the Diamondbacks to pick up an add-on run here in inning number 5. Badenhop steps off, looking the runner back to second base.
So no crackers.
Here's the pitch. And there's a line drive back to the mound. It hit Badenhop. He goes down hard. The ball is picked up by Baker in front of the mound. He holds the runner Upton at third base, and now timeout is called, and Badenhop is down. He got hurt on that ball hit back to the mound. And we could hear that ball crack onto his leg from up here. So everybody gathered around Burke Badenhop, who is in a lot of pain. And athletic trainer Sean Cunningham is out to attend to Badenhop.
Looks like near the left knee.
Jorge Cantu got over there quickly, as did Wes Helms. And then Bonifacio and Ugla came in. And as they attend to Badenhop, Freddie Gonzalez comes out, and he too is obviously greatly concerned, and they're checking on Badenhop's well-being.
The inside of the left knee.
It was a line drive right off the inside of the left knee. And it wasn't anything that I heard. Badenhop's been helped to his feet, and he's going to try to walk off.
Well, the fact that he's putting any pressure at all on it is very encouraging, obviously.
Yeah, he took a couple of steps very carefully, and now with a decent stride, and that's a good sign, walks off the field along with the athletic trainer, and Freddie comes back into the dugout, and the Marlins are going to have to go to the bullpen. Now let's see. Brian Sanchez. It is. Brian Sanchez gets the call to come in. He'll get whatever time he needs to loosen up. Well, we're talking about Ossie Schreckengost and the clause he had put into his contract. I would think, Jeff, that the way the story goes, it was written into the contract specifically that he could not eat crackers in bed. So I think Rube could, like, sit over in the chair in the corner and probably eat the crackers. Everything's okay.
Not in bed.
Now, it does beg the question, if Ozzie was so concerned about Rube eating crackers, did that have to do with the noise level of Rube chomping on those crackers?
I would have thought.
Or would it have to do with crumbs in the bed? And if it had to do with the latter, what was Ozzie doing in Rube's bed?
I would have imagined separate beds there.
Well, for sure.
It was a different time.
So it had to be a sound thing right here that really got to Ozzie. He just couldn't sleep with Rube crunching on crackers.
Huh.
But I thought it was very imaginative of him and very good of the general manager to allow that to be written into a contract.
It is imaginative. You hear about some strange contractual clauses that one may take the prize.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, Brian Sanchez out there warming up, and he'll be the third Marlins pitcher. Burke Badenhop pitched 1 2/3, and his record is not complete because he is responsible for Upton over there at third base, and for Para, who hit the ball at first base. So he allowed a couple of hits, the one that struck him on the left inside of the left knee. And then Chris Young will be facing Brian Sanchez. Give you a quick look at Sanchez and what he's done. The right-hander makes his 20th appearance, a 1-1 record, a 1.37 earned run average. 19 2/3. He's only allowed 3 earned runs on 17 hits in those 19 2/3. Has 18 strikeouts, 9 walks. So for the most part, he's had a couple of little bumps in the road, but for the most part, Brian Sanchez has done a good job. And the Marlins need him to do a good job here because they're already down 6-0. And with 1 out, Diamondbacks at first and second.
Dave, Google is a crazy thing. I just found a little bit more about the story you were just telling. And it was actually a shared bed. And I've got a quote from your buddy Shrek here. They were animal crackers, to be precise, that he was munching on. This is a quote from Shrek. The big bum has got to where he eats these little animal crackers every night. I don't mind the flat crackers so much, but for a whole week last year, I woke up with elephant tusks and cow horns sticking between my ribs. That's a quote from your boy.
Ozzie Schreckengast. There you go, Ozzie. Rube Waddell, a Hall of Famer, by the way. Left-hander. How did he refer to it? As a big what?
The big bum.
The big bum. Yeah. 6'1½", 196 pounds. He, too, was an eccentric. Maybe that's why they were matched up, he and Ozzie. As they described Rube Waddell as being one of the game's most eccentric and colorful players. Rube, a Hall of Famer. I think Ozzie deserved that mention for having that written into his contract. All right, we're ready to go. Sanchez ready. He bluffs to third, looks to first. Didn't work. Para had barely left the bag at first base.
And Connie Mack was the GM that agreed to this.
You can do that when you also own the club. Here's the pitch. And a called strike. 0-1. 6 runs, 7 hits for the Diamondbacks. No runs, 3 hits for the Marlins. And Diamondbacks are at first and third. Chris Young walked in the first inning, tripled, and knocked in 2 runs in the third inning. Right-hand batter waits. The right-hand pitcher delivers, and a little squibbler to the right side. Up with it, Cantu gives to Sanchez covering. That'll cost a run. Now a 7-0 lead for the Diamondbacks. Chris Young picks up his 3rd RBI. 3-1 for the out. Upton scores from third. Para goes down to second on the play. Now there are 2 outs in the inning. So Chris Young found a way to get that run home with Upton standing at third base. That run is charged to Burke Badenhop. Here's Tony Clark. Doubled in the third. Prior to that, had grounded out. 1 for 2 on the night. He has an RBI. He knocked in their 6th run with a double in the third inning. The pitch outside the ball. They scored 4 of the 6 in the third. Upton with a 2-run homer in the first, and then 4 unearned runs in the third inning. We're in inning number 5. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike. Tony Clark stepped out. He gets right back in there. Clark chose baseball. He's a magnificent basketball player. Hits a high fly ball, left center. Going back there in center field, Cody Ross gets under it and makes the catch in deep left center. Tony Clark is out. The runner is stranded, but they pick up 1 run on 2 hits. They knock Badenhop out of the game. And after 4.5 innings, 7-0 Diamondbacks on the Florida Marlins radio network.
It's been all Arizona so far into the 6th inning, 7-0. The Diamondbacks in front of the Marlins tonight. First of 4 in the Valley of the Sun this weekend. 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the D-backs. No runs, only 3 hits. 1 error for the Marlins, who have Dan Uggla leading off the 7th, and he breaks his bat, lines one to left, a base hit. The barrel of the bat went out near third base. The baseball ends up in left field. And Dan Uggla's 2 for 3 in this ballgame. He's got 2 of the 4 Marlins hits.
By the way, you did say we played 5, right? Because I said we'd played 4.5 after the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, we're into the
And
6th.
I just wanted to clear up the fact that we've actually played 5 innings.
Feels like about 14 the way this one's gone so far.
Yeah, it really does. The third inning for the Diamondbacks felt like 5 innings.
Here's Cantu taking a strike. Arizona 2 in the first inning on a home run by Justin Upton. Then 4 unearned runs in the third. The inning set up by a throwing error by Emilio Bonifacio. All the runs coming with 2 outs. Gerardo Parra an RBI single. Chris Young a 2-run triple. Tony Clark an RBI double. Another run in the 5th inning with men at the corners. Chris Young grounded out. That scored Justin Upton from third. So 7-0 D-backs. 0-1 the count to Cantu. Left-handed action in the bullpen for Arizona. 0-1. Cantu takes a knee-high strike. It has been a rough year to say the least for Yusmeiro Petit, who's got to be elated pitching into the 6th inning with a 7-0 lead here. He began the year the number 5 starter in Arizona's rotation. He made 5 starts, 1 relief appearance. He was 0-3, an 8.03 ERA. Then went on the DL in early May. 0-2 to Cantu, ripped to deep left field. Parra's back at the track, at the wall. Goodbye. A 2-run home run for Jorge Cantu. It had been a while. He puts the Marlins on the scoreboard here in the 6th 7-2 game. On an 0-2 pitch, Cantu finally connects for his 10th home run of the season. He hit 7 in April, 1 in May, 1 in June, now his first here in July. So the Marlins finally get on the scoreboard against Yusmeiro Petit. And here comes Cody Ross. Cody will walk and a fly ball to left. And he takes outside for a ball. Cody hitting 5th in the lineup for just the 3rd time this season. He's hit 6th and 7th just about all year. The 1-0 from Petit. Chopped on the ground toward third. Reynolds has it near the bag. Sidearms across the diamond. And Cody's the first out here in the 6th inning. Talking about Petit's struggles. 0-3, an 8.03 ERA. Then he went on the DL after his May 8th start with a shoulder strain. A couple of rehab starts, didn't pitch very well. Came back Sunday in Denver, allowed 4 runs on 5 hits in 3 innings against the Rockies. Got a no decision, though the Diamondbacks won that game 11-7. But he's been more or less on top of his game here tonight. Here's Hermida, and Jeremy fouls him back off to our left. Hermida 0 for 2. 7 for his last 61. That's over 21 games. 1 RBI in that span. And he hits one in the air to right field. Back goes Upton onto the track, turns around, looks up, and it's gone. A home run for Hermida into the pool. And it's a 7-3 game as the Marlins have finally gotten the bats going here in the 6th. Romita with his 9th of the season. RBI number 31. So 2 long balls for the Marlins, who had not been swinging the power bat much of late. Got the 3-run home run from Dan Uggla in the 9th inning yesterday. And that's going to spell the end of the night now for Yusmeiro Petit. We'll have a double switch here in the top half of the 6th. Pitching change. Sanders and A.J. Hinch's bullpen. Diamondbacks manager saying the key for him is figuring out how to get right-handers out, not just lefties out. He wants them to not be a situational left-hander. He wants to be somebody who can give him an inning or multiple innings. And to do that, he needs to get right-handed hitters out. First, we'll deal with the lefty, John Baker, who went 0 for 2 against Petit. Petit goes 5 1/3 in this one. Allows 6 hits, 3 runs. Walked 2, struck out 3. Served up the 2 gopher balls through 82 pitches, 54 strikes. He leaves on line for the victory. It would be his first since August 23rd of last year, also against the Marlins. Baker takes outside and low for a ball. Since that start against the Marlins last August, Petit had pitched in 11 games in the big leagues, 8 starts, 0-5 with a 9.41 ERA. Baker pops one up left side, and that's going to make the seats. In those 11 games for Petit, 36 1/3 innings, 52 hits allowed, 15 home runs allowed. He did a pretty good job through 5 tonight. He was great through 5. Got in some trouble here in the 6th. The leaves with a 7-3 advantage. The 1-1 now to Baker. Missed the outside corner, ball 2. It's Petit's game to win, Andrew Miller's game to lose. Miller went 2 2/3, allowed 6 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned on 5 hits. As Baker pops from foul into the seats again. Andrew Miller tonight walked 3, didn't strike out anybody.
I want to remind you about the 511 Traveler Information Service. Check it out at 511southflorida.com. Click on the Southeast region. You'll see all the traffic information you'll need to travel safe and move well and not get hung up in construction and other things that'll hold you back. So know before you go. Dial 511, a free service of FDOT and MDX.
Now the 2-2, Slayton to Baker. Outside and low, blocked by the catcher, Carlin.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Ossie and Rube and the boys back then in 1914 having to sleep in the same bed, roommates. Now, what cities do you imagine would have had hotels where the big league clubs stayed where there were no double beds?
Baker hits him down the left field line, another foul ball.
I should say no rooms with 2 beds in the room. Yeah, I mean, you got to figure that even in 1914, cities like Boston, New York, Philadelphia would have had that. Chicago.
Yeah. Interesting. Saving money.
But maybe not in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati.
Baker hits another ball down the left field line, chasing Parra, and he makes the catch just before crossing into foul ground. So Baker's 0 for 3, 2 down in the inning for Wes Helms.
Cleveland, I don't know.
A smaller town.
Detroit.
By the way,
Washington.
Yeah. We do learn that Rube Waddell exacted a little bit of revenge on Connie Mack. As I'm reading from a biography of Rube Waddell I found online here.
He ate potato chips in bed.
Worse than that. Here's Helms, and he takes a strike. A few days after the Cracker deal, and I quote here, Rube did exact a little revenge, not on Shrek, but on Mack. The team was still in Florida during spring training. Late one night, Rube knocked on Mack's door. Mack answered, quote, "I'm in bed, but come in if you'd like." The 0-1 pitch bounces up there. Rube did and proceeded to speak some inanity to Mack as he ate a sandwich. While eating, Rube made sure he dropped an appropriate amount of crumbs and other sandwich contents into Mack's bed. The sandwich didn't contain animal crackers, just raw onion and Limburger cheese.
Nice.
Good times. Different time.
You like to be the catcher, have to go out and talk to the pitcher the next day.
Helms grounds 1-1 to the shortstop. Up with it, Ojeda across the first to retire this side. So Slayton comes out of the bullpen and retires both batters he faced, but the Marlins score 3 runs with a couple of home runs. Cantu and Hermida go deep. And as we head to the bottom of inning number 6 now, it's 7-3 Arizona on the Florida Marlins Radio Network. Tonight against San Diego. What a year he's having. Rockies have come from behind, bottom of the 8th. They lead the Braves now 7-5. That's good news. A run in the 7th, and they've scored twice in the 8th. They're still batting. Mets pounded by the Dodgers. Phillies, though, beat the Reds tonight. First pitch to Luke Carlin, outside for a ball. Now, the Marlins beginning a new series tonight as the Phillies and Mets were wrapping up series. Phillies stay home to play the Pirates this weekend, starting tomorrow night. Mets stay home to face the Reds. Luke Carlin tags one into right. That's a hit. Lined it over the second baseman, Dan Ugla. Carlin with his first hit in 11 Major League at-bats this season. And now Chad Tracy coming up for the first time. Tracy took over at first base, part of a double switch in the last half inning. Luke Carlin, by the way, got to the big leagues for the first time last year as a Padre in his 7th professional season. Made his Major League debut behind the plate the night that Greg Maddux won his 350th career game. He caught a milestone in his first big league game. Here's Tracy, left-handed batter. Sanchez first pitch. In the air left side, out of play, back into the seats. The Ace Underwriting Group, Florida's insurance source, serving all of Florida because Florida is all they insure. Whether it's auto, condo, business, or home, get great rates and great service from folks right here in Florida. Find out more by visiting underwriting.com. Tracy batting .213, 5 homers, 22 RBIs. Pitch from Sanchez inside, backs him away. Tracy just came off the disabled list June the 30th. He missed 27 games with an oblique strain. Went on the injured list May 30th. Came back 1 month later. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Diamondbacks. 3, 6, and 1 for the Marlins. Bottom of the 6th. The D-backs trying to go to 4-1 this season against the Marlins, looking for their 6th win in a row. Trying to keep their longest winning streak of the season alive. The 1-1 pitch, up and away, ball 2. Our friends at Nationwide Mortgage would like to help you purchase or refinance your home and save you money. You may qualify for a fixed loan under 5%. Nationwide Mortgage is local. They have money to lend, and they'll close you fast. Call 866-433-9943. That's 866-433-9943, Nationwide Mortgage. With the runner going, Tracy pops one up on the infield. Wes Helms makes the catch. 1 out. Tracy pops to third. Here's the second baseman, Felipe Lopez. Lopez 0 for 3, and this one reached on an error that triggered a 4-run 3rd inning. Diamondbacks got off to a quick start. Justin Upton, a 2-run homer in the first. They've never looked back. They opened up a 7-0 lead through 5. Cantu hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 6th. For me to follow 2 batters later, a solo home run. That's how we get to 7-3. There's ball 1 inside to Lopez. Spin, toss to first. Diving back to the bag safely, Carlin. Jorge Cantu's home run, his first in the last 31 games. .118 at bats. Again, a throw over. Natives getting restless. It was 108 degrees outside when we played ball tonight. Roof closed here at Chase Field. 81 degrees inside at game time. The 1-0 on the way to Lopez. In there for a strike. Takes this place a while to cool down. The roof was open all afternoon. Marlins did some early work with that roof open. The roof was closed just before the Diamondbacks started batting practice. Toss to first again. And again, Carlin lunging back to the bag.
About 2 hours before game time, or 2.5?
About 2 hours, I think. I'm not sure exactly what time it was. I do know, though, that it took at least an hour or so for this place to cool down. It still felt like you were outside. The 1-1 to Lopez, and it's a little bit high.
Well, when we first got up here to the broadcast booth, it was still warm in here. It wasn't until we'd played a couple of innings that you started to feel the effects of the air conditioning.
They had, up until this homestand, for the most part, played with the roof open this year here in Phoenix. Talking to some Diamondbacks folks. 2-1 pitch. Popped out of play, back behind the plate. It wasn't until the middle part of June when the temperatures hit triple figures here in the Valley, from what I'm told. I think they say the ball carries a lot better here when the roof is open than when it's closed. I remember when Curt Schilling pitched here, he always wanted the roof closed when he pitched. 2-2 pitch. Ripped out toward left center field, racing over Coughlin, and he makes the catch to retire Lopez. Carlin was almost all the way to second, turns around, retreats to first. 2 down. It'll be up to Augie Ojeda. Get a taste of Europe with Martin Air. Your choice, only nonstop flights from Miami to Amsterdam. Superior value, friendly service, and premium economy with more legroom and upgraded amenities. Book your next European holiday with Martin Air by logging on to martinair.com. Martin Air, your choice. Ojeda, former Cub, former Twin. Since 07, a Diamondback. Sanchez, the pitch on the way, missed outside. Marlins have Kiko Calero available in that bullpen now. He came off the disabled list today. Been out since June the 21st with inflammation in his shoulder. Made a couple of strong rehab appearances for Jupiter. Again, a throw to first. Close play. Carlin barely back in safely. We've seen Miller, Badenhop, now Sanchez. No word on Badenhop, who left the game after being struck near the inside of the left knee by a line drive that was hit by Gerardo Parra back in inning number 5. He was able to walk off under his own power, and the closer he got to the dugout, the less pronounced the limp. 1-0 pitch to Ojeda, up and away. You can bet he will have a black and blue mark when he wakes up tomorrow morning, if he doesn't already. And try to keep the swelling down. I got the word yesterday that Alfredo Meziga's season's over. He's going to have that microfracture surgery. Again, a throw to first. This time Carlin back standing. That's a procedure you hear about a lot in the NBA. Haven't heard about too many baseball players who've undergone that procedure that was created by Dr. Richard Stedman in Vail, Colorado. Sanchez sets, holds high, throws 2-0. And Ojeda looks a fly ball to right. Backing up on it, Hermida. And one step onto the track makes the catch to retire the side. A leadoff hit, but nothing across for the Diamondbacks. We're through 6 now. 7-3 Arizona on the Florida Marlins Radio Network. Here's Andy Gonzalez to make his Marlins debut. He'll bat for the pitcher Sanchez. Leading off the 7th inning, Arizona 7 and the Marlins 3. Gonzalez just up from AAA New Orleans yesterday. Began the season with the Marlins. He was on the opening day roster. Didn't get into a game, though, before being sent down. Pitch is low, ball 1 to Sanchez. or to Gonzalez, rather. Hitting for Sanchez. Gonzalez, former White Sox and Indian, right-handed hitter. And a pitch from Slayton in there for a strike, called 1-1. Andy Gonzalez made a great impression on everybody at spring training this year. Came in as a non-roster invitee. Hit 260 in AAA, 9 doubles, 4 homers, 32 RBIs, 65 games with the New Orleans Zephyrs. A 1-1 to him. Missed a way ball, too. Played second, third, short, even left and right at AAA this year. Now Doug Slayton offers the 2-1, and Gonzalez rips one toward the alley in left center. That's going to get down, and it's going to roll toward the wall. In his first bat as a Marlin, Gonzalez in at second base. He will not be content with a double, though. He's going to try for a triple, and he'll slide in safely. So Andy Gonzalez with a 3-base hit. And down 7-3. The Marlins have the first man on here in the 7th inning for Chris Coughlin. I hope you'll make your plans to join us for the groundbreaking ceremony at the new Marlins ballpark site, Saturday, July the 18th. It'll be a historic day for all of South Florida. Festivities get started at 10 o'clock. First 1,000 fans are going to get a limited edition groundbreaking pin. There'll be food, music, games, and entertainment. We'll hope to see you out there. It's going to be a great day. Pitch to Coughlin, fastball that missed away, ball 1. For more information, call 1-877-MARLINS or go online to marlins.com. Again, it's the groundbreaking ceremony at the new Marlins ballpark. Saturday morning, July the 18th, 10 a.m. 1-0 to Coughlin, foul right back to the screen. Gonzalez the man at third. Here's the Marlins, a valuable utility infielder with Bonifacio having to play short with Hanley out for now. Pitch outside for a ball. And with Amezaga, as we mentioned, done for the year. He's going to have that microfracture surgery Monday in Colorado. It's a procedure in which they drill small holes into the bone, causing new cartilage to develop, and the bone regenerates itself. 2-1 to Coughlin, way inside, ball 3 with Bonifacio on deck. A lot of basketball players have had the procedure done. Greg Oden, Allen Houston, Tracy McGrady, Amari Stoudemire among the NBA players. 3-1 to Coughlin, ripped toward left center. It's in for a hit. That'll score Gonzalez. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Coughlin will take a turn at second. He wants a triple. No, he doesn't. He changed his mind. He thought about it. Thought he might want a triple. But as the center fielder Young got it in quickly, he's content with a double and a run batted in. So the Marlins now have cut the deficit to 7-4. And that's going to be it, it would appear, for Doug Slayton. Here comes A.J. Hinch, the Diamondbacks manager, out of the dugout. And we'll have the ball game. Baden have 1 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 1. Brian Sanchez followed him into the game. Sanchez leaving for a pinch hitter here this inning. We'll close the book on Brian. An inning and 2/3, 1 hit, all the rest zeros. So here's Bonifacio. Emilio 1 for 3, hit a triple in the 3rd inning. Marlins have hit 2 triples, a double, and a home run in this ball game. But they trail 7-4. Hits even at 8 apiece. Coughlin's at second. Third baseman Reynolds in tight. First pitch to Bonifacio. Shortens up. Takes a ball. Three in the 6th. Now 1 so far here in the 7th. As the Marlins try to climb back into this one. Vasquez, the right-hander from the first base side of the rubbers. He comes set. And he offers the 1-0 to Bonifacio, down and in. That's Merling Vasquez out of the Dominican Republic. He's 25 years old. Listed at 6'1", 173 pounds. Has a very good changeup. Was the Diamondbacks minor league pitcher of the year 2 years ago at AA Mobile as a starter. Pitching in relief, making his major league debut here in 09. Now the 2-ball pitch to Bonifacio, fastball, and it's ball 3. The Diamondbacks bullpen has been a problem this year. Into this one tonight, a 4.79 ERA for the Arizona Pen. That ranks 14th out of the 16 teams in the National League. The 3-0 to Emilio. He's taking all the way and watches ball 4 too low. So now 2 men aboard with nobody out. Dan Uggla comes up representing the tying run. Catcher Carlin, shortstop Ojeda, both to the mound to talk with Vasquez. Things could really get interesting here. Dan's 2 for 3 in this one. Came in 8 for his last 40. But with the 2 hits here tonight, he's got that average up to 227, up 4 points so far tonight. Scored a run in the 6th inning. And he's swung the bat well against the Diamondbacks, the organization that originally signed him. Never played in the big leagues with Arizona. He's gone 7 for 18 against Arizona pitching this year. 3 home runs. He's knocked in 7. Would love to add to those totals right here. First pitch from Vasquez to Dan Uggla. Checks the swing, takes a strike. Looked like a slider to start him off. Jorge Cantu's on deck. He had a 2-run home run last time. Here we go. Heart of the order. Down by 3. 2 on, nobody out. Good speed. Coughlin at second. Bonifacio at first. Right-hander sets to the belt. Looks back at second. Now offers the 0-1 to Uggla. And Dan takes downstairs. Dan rocks back and forth as he waits for the 1-1. Right-hander's ready. Here's the pitch. And Uggla chops him foul off to the left. Rumors floating that the Phillies may be close to signing Pedro Martinez. There were reports that the deal was done. Ruben Amaro Jr., the Phillies general manager, says that's not true. Pedro says he is in conversation with the Phillies. Reportedly, Phillies would like to see Pedro throw again after they watch a simulated game on Tuesday. Pedro says, no, I think you guys have seen enough. Now the 1-2 to Uggla. Swinging a line drive, base hit left field. Coughlin will be held at third, and the Marlins have him loaded with nobody out. Uggla's 3 for 4. And here's Jorge Cantu with 1 swing of the bat. The Marlins could take the lead in this one now. And here comes Mel Stottlemyre Jr., the Diamondbacks pitching coach, to talk with Vasquez. Buy a little time for the bullpen. Left-hander loosening. Looks like Scott Schoenweiss. They've got Clay Zavada, Schoenweiss, and Slayton in that pen. We've already seen Slayton. And as they confer at the mound, we'll pause for station identification on the Florida Marlins Radio Network.
You're listening to Florida Marlins Baseball on WAXY South Miami, a Lincoln Financial Group station, 790 The Ticket.
Arizona raced out to a 7-0 lead through 5 innings in this ball game. Marlins got a couple of home runs. Cantu and Hermida in the 6th to make it 7-3. They've got a run-scoring double from Chris Coughlin here in the 7th to make it 7-4. A walk to Bonifacio, a single by Uggla, and now the bases are loaded. Still nobody out. And here's Cantu. A walk, a ground ball back to the mound, and a home run, 1 for 2. 9 for 21 against Arizona pitching, hitting .429 against the D-backs this year. Pitching the right-hander Esmerling Vasquez. Out of the stretch with the bases full. First pitch to Cantu, fastball for a strike. Well, Jorge came in with 2 home runs in his last 61 games, 240 at-bats. How about a 2-home run night? He's got 1 already, another one here would turn this game around. Base is full of Marlins. The 0-1 to Cantu, and it catches the outside corner, strike two. Vasquez jumps ahead. Cantu's last home run an inning ago came on an 0-2 pitch. That was against Yusmeiro Petit, the starter. Still his game to win as the D-backs try to protect this 7-4 lead.
The last call by Chuck Merriweather was very generous to the pitcher.
0-2 on the way inside, 1-2. Cantu thought so, judging from the way he reacted. Marlins have Coghlan at third, Bonifacio at second, Uggla at first. Infield of double play depth. Nobody out in the seventh. A run in. D-backs 7, Marlins 4. The 1-2 to Cantu. Swinging a line drive down the left field line. It is a foul ball. Left-hander still throwing Schoenweiss in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Marlins have right-handed action. Can't tell you who it is, though. He's blocked by a post right now. Cantu waves his bat across home plate. Vasquez, another 1-2. A swing and a foul ball back over the screen. Off to the side of the press box. Bounces back down into the box seats. Marlins have more hits than the Diamondbacks now. They've hit them 9-8, but they trail 7-4. The outfield very deep, looking to cut off the extra base hit. That could potentially tie this game up. Bases loaded, still nobody out. What a chance. Vasquez, a deep breath. Now the 1-2, and Cantu pops one up into shallow center. In comes Young. Now the left fielder comes over, but it's Young, the center fielder, who makes the catch, and the runners have to hold. So Cantu, who over the last 2 years has been as good an RBI man as the Marlins have had, is unable to get a man home from third with the bases loaded and nobody out. One out, and now Cody Ross. Well, outside of Hanley, who's unavailable, at least as a starter, no Marlin has been hotter in recent weeks than Cody Ross. Cody hitting .409 to begin the month of July, hitting .350 over his last 18 games. Big chance for him here. 0 for 2 with a walk in this ball game. Got to stay out of the double play. The outfield stays deep. Coghlan, Bonifacio, and Uggla the runners at third, second, and first. Vasquez the pitch to Ross. Inside corner for a strike. He spun out of the way and now goes for a walk. Didn't like the call.
I believe that's Brendan Donnelly.
Vasquez working very deliberately. A long look in. Now the right-hander sets. The 0-1 to Cody. Shot toward the third baseman. Charged by Reynolds. Foul ball. He fielded it in foul ground with his left foot on that third base bag. But it was a foul ball. So Cody in a 2-strike hole. Runners retreat. Coghlan back to third base. Bonifacio to second. Uggla a long, slow walk back to first. Cody's hit 3 grand slams this season. Bats with the bases full. 1 out. Nothing into the count.
Now it's Kiko Calero that is up in the Marlins bullpen right now.
Just off the DL today. Time called. Vasquez took too long. Cody steps out. Phillies have won. The Mets and Braves have both lost. Marlins need the victory to stay 2 out of first place. The 0-2 to Cody in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Carlin. Marlins' biggest comeback this year has been from a 5-run deficit. They trailed 7-0 through 5 here tonight. Now they're still trailing 7-4. We're in the 7th. But the bases are loaded. 1 out. Vasquez has nowhere to go. Finally, he's ready. 1-2 to Cody, and it's hit sharply towards second. Lopez has it, spins, throws to second, out, back to first, a double play. The Marlins got a run, but even after scoring that run, they had the bases loaded and nobody out. They can't push across even one more. 7th inning stretch. Still 7-4 Diamondbacks. 7. Calero just activated from the DL today. He had inflammation in his pitching shoulder. Out since June the 21st. 37th appearance, 1-0, a 2.01 ERA. And there's a ball high to Justin Upton. Upton a single and a home run. He's stolen a base. He scored twice, 2 for 3. 1-ball pitch, outside, ball 2.
You know, Glenn, we watch this, and it's hard to believe. You do almost a double take, checking the stats, and find coming into this game, the Marlins are 4th in the league in run scoring.
2-0 is in there for a strike. That is hard to believe. Boy, did they let a great chance get away. Upton on 2-1, grounds one on a big hop to the shortstop. Bonifacio has it, throws low, but a backhanded scoop by Cantu for the out. Saved Bonifacio. It would have been his second throwing error in the ballgame. One down for the third baseman, Mark Reynolds. Reynolds is one of the 5 finalists in that final vote for the last spot on the All-Star team. Shane Victorino, the Phillies won that voting, a record number of ballots cast. Victorino wins in the National League. Brandon Inge, the Tigers' third baseman, wins in the American League. Pitch to Reynolds is in there for a strike.
Now, there was such a push on, particularly in Philadelphia and in San Francisco, where they were hoping to get Pablo Sandoval voted on.
Reynolds takes outside and low. Well, they made a push for Reynolds, his hometown of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Declared Tuesday, vote for Mark Reynolds Day. The mayor of Virginia Beach getting involved. So 1-1. Slider in there for a strike. 440,000 residents of Virginia Beach. More than 1.7 million throughout the Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Newport News metropolitan area, and they were hoping to get everybody together to vote for Reynolds. Didn't pay off. He came in third behind Victorino and Sandoval. Now he's got a 2-2 count facing Calero. Base is empty. One down here in the 7th. One down here in the 7th. Hey, you can't argue with 24 homers and 62 runs batted in. Those are Reynolds' numbers as he pops one out of playoff to the right. He's tied for second in the National League in home runs behind only Albert Pujols. He's 4th in the league in RBIs.
Is MLB able to track where the votes come from online?
I think they are able to, because every time you vote, you've got to put your zip code in there. So, yeah, they have to be. Mark Reynolds got an endorsement from John McCain. Didn't work. 2-2, a swing and a miss. Reynolds down on strikes. We mentioned the 24 homers and 62 RBIs. We should also mention 2 strikeouts tonight, 117 on the season. Coming into this game tonight, Reynolds struck out in 37 of his at-bats this year. He began the night on pace to strike out 219 times. He set a single-season Major League record with 204 Ks last year. Here's Gerardo Parra now, 2 outs, nobody on. Calero looking for a quick, easy, clean 7th inning. And Parra takes up high. Freddie Gonzalez saying this afternoon, he's going to be careful with how he uses Calero now. Don't expect to see Kiko Calero going more than an inning at a time. 1-0, a swing and a miss. He's way too valuable. So the bullpen taking on a different look with Calero's return, with the arrival of Brendan Donnelly a couple of days ago. A couple of good veteran playoff-tested arms. Chop ball right at the second baseman Ugla. He's got it, and he throws Parra out. So Kiko Calero returns with a 1-2-3 inning here in the 7th tonight. On to the 8th. D-backs 7, Marlins 4. This is Marlins baseball on the Florida Marlins Radio Network.
Check it out at PembrokeGunRange.com. Always on target. Jeremy Hermida tonight hit a home run his last time up. Solo homer 410 feet into the pool in right center in the 6th inning. Prior to that, he had struck out and lined out. So a 1-for-3 night for Hermida. And the pitch. And a called strike. Marlins trail by 3. Gutierrez works with both feet on the pitching rubber, squares away, and then does a little dance to get himself in the delivery position. Ground ball to the left of the bag at second. Ojeda stumbles trying to pick it up, and it shoots through for a base hit. Hermida's second hit of the night. That'll bring the potential tying run to the on-deck circle. The batter, John Baker. Wes Helms out to the on-deck circle. And Baker 0 for 3 on the night. Due. Grounded out, struck out, and fly to left. Take just 2 for 17 against Arizona pitching this season. Now they're at double play depth. And the pitch to the left-hand batter. Outside and a ball. They give Baker the left field line pretty much. Juan Gutierrez, the 4th pitcher out there for the Diamondbacks tonight. Right-hander sets and holds. Kicks, delivers. And that's in at the knees and a called strike. Gutierrez in his 36th game. He has a 1-2 record and a 4.54 earned run average. He has allowed more than a hit an inning. 45 hits in 42 innings. And if we throw in the Hermida hit, that would be 46 hits in 42 innings. Here's the 1-1, low and inside. He does have 44 strikeouts in 41 2/3. 2 balls and a strike to John Baker from Juan Gutierrez. The pitch, check swing, and a foul tip. The ball touched the bat. Baker does not buy into that. And the ball held by the catcher. Strike 2 to John Baker, 2-2. Plate umpires Chuck Merriweather. This is game 1 of a 4-game series. And so far it has not gone well for the Marlins and the Diamondbacks. You'll recall earlier this season, Diamondbacks took 3 out of 4 from the Marlins at Landshark Stadium. And now they lead this one 7-4 here in the 8th inning. Gutierrez delivers, and it's low and inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Along the way tonight, the Philadelphia Phillies won their game, beat the Reds 9-6. The Mets lost, got hammered by the Dodgers 11-2. The Braves lost. Colorado came back and beat them 7-6. Here's a throw to first base. Nationals won their suspended game, played at Houston. They beat Houston in 7 minutes, 11-10. You see the game was suspended when they resumed play, tied at 10. They played for 7 minutes. Washington with a walk-off win, 11-10. Here's a pitch low and outside, and that's taken by Baker for ball 4. Take on for the first time. Hermida goes down to second base, and we're going to have a hitter, and it's going to be Hanley Ramirez. So Hanley, we talked about him earlier. He took batting practice tonight and hit one after another into the seats in left. Wouldn't that be something? Last time Hanley played was 4th of July, the Saturday game that the Marlins won over Pittsburgh 5-3. And Hanley will climb in here. He is the league's leading hitter. Hanley Ramirez is batting .346 to lead the league ahead of Carlos Beltran and Albert Pujols going into the games today and tonight. Of course, Beltran injured. Pujols is not. So Hanley makes his first appearance since the 4th of July. And if he hits one out, this game is tied. Hanley batting for Wes Helms, who doubled back in the 5th, finishes the night 1 for 3. The pitch, and it's low to Hanley, ball 1. Well, one thing for sure, Geff, even though he hasn't swung the bat other than to work out the last few days, time out here, and the pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre Jr. is going to go talk to Gutierrez. One thing for sure, just Hanley's presence at the plate plays on the mind of the pitcher.
No question about that. You've got a struggling bullpen. You've got a pitcher in there right now in Gutierrez who has had some ups and downs this season. And these Diamondbacks have seen the Marlins claw back into this one. They've had a chance to maybe get even closer than they are right now, but you can't ask for more than this. You've got Hanley at the plate, the tying man. 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. In his career, 2 for 7 in the pinch, 1 home run.
Well, Gutierrez is on his own now. The pitching coach has left the mound back in the dugout, and Gutierrez with Hermida at second, Baker at first, nobody out. And here's the pitch to Hanley, and a foul ball straight back. Strike 1. Miguel Tejada with 111 hits, leading the league in hits. Hanley second with 103. He and Shane Victorino. This, of course, going into games tonight. Hanley's among the RBI leaders in the league. Tied for the 5th spot. Here's the 1-1. Hanley takes, and there's a called strike. That pitch catching a piece of the outside corner. And Hanley opting to let that go. Not to his liking. The pitch. 1-2 the count on Hanley as he climbs back into the batter's box. Gutierrez has the side. Gives a quick check. Looking back at Hermida. Another look. Now the pitch. Hanley takes low outside. Ball knocked down by the catcher Carlin. Marlins have got Ross Glode with the bat in hand out at the on-deck circle. In the last inning in this spot, Andy Gonzalez pinch hit and tripled. Here's the 2-2 to Hanley. And it's low and outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, for sure, they don't want to load the bases up. Gutierrez does not want to load the bases up with nobody out. So he's going to pick a pitch here that he feels is his best pitch at this moment. And hopefully throw it for a strike and take his chances. It's pretty much what he's got to do with Hanley up there. He's ready, delivers a pitch. A swing and a ball squibbed foul off to the right, and the bat splintered and parts of the bat fell off. So Hanley, who still has the full length of bat in his hands, but parts being picked up by Bo Porter, heads over to the dugout for a new bat. Gutierrez's best pitch is his sinking fastball, the 2-seam fastball. But he throws both breaking balls. He is behind in the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 25-year-old stands 6'3". Hanley with a new bat. Back into the batter's box. 3 balls, 2 strikes coming up. Here's the pitch. Hanley swings. Line drive. Base hit to right field. Coming to third, Hermida. He'll be held. Hanley's pinch hit loads the bases. Hanley took that pitch the other way, smacks a single to right, and the Marlins have the sacks full with nobody out. Well, Geff, this is deja vu all over again.
Well, they couldn't cash in the 7th inning. Remember, they left 2 men on in the 1st inning. They had a man at third in the 3rd, couldn't get him home. The great chance last inning, bases loaded, nobody out, couldn't score, and here we are again. It's going to be a left-hander to face Mr. Gload, it looks like.
Yeah, A.J. Hinch is going to go to the bullpen and not allow Ross Gload to bat against the right-hander Gutierrez. So the Diamondbacks make a pitching change. Time for them is the tying run. Diamondbacks up 7-4. Schoenweiss into the game. 32nd appearance, 1-0 record, a 4.30 earned run average. And Scott Schoenweiss will face Ross Gload. As these matchups late in games so often go, the left-hander coming in will cause the opposing manager to make a move. And Freddie Gonzalez will take his shot with Ross Gload. It will be the first time that Ross Gload has faced Scott Schoenweiss. Bases full, nobody out for the Marlins in the 8th inning. They trail by 3. The pitch to Gload. A swing and a ball hammered foul, bounced over toward the right side. It skipped off the warning track and up into the first or second row of the box seats behind the Marlins dugout down to our right. 0-1 on Gload. Schoenweiss gets the sign from Carlin. Ross Gload batting .288, 3 homers, 13 batted in overall. Here's the pitch. A swing here and another foul ball right side. This further down the line. Gload coming off the bench has 9 hits in 34 at-bats, and those 9 hits have produced 7 RBIs. Gload gets back in, hitting .265 as a pinch hitter. Schoenweiss sets, kicks, delivers. Gload swings, breaks his bat, rolls the ball to the right side. Up with it, Lopez to a 1. That's all they'll get, and they give up a run. And it is now a 7-5 game. So Gload reaches on the fielder's choice, 4-6 to erase Hanley. Baker goes to third base on that play. Hermida scores from third base. 1 out. First and second, check that. First and third. Brett Carroll's going to bat for Chris Coghlan. So in this instance, Freddie goes with Carroll, right-hand batter, with Schoenweiss, a left-hander in the game. Now the ball is in A.J. Hinch's court. And Carroll will come up here. This is one of the biggest assignments Carroll's gotten with the ball club in this kind of a situation, to come up here and pinch hit first and third, 1 out. Carroll batting for Coghlan. The right-hand hitter stands in, batting .257. Here's the pitch, and Carroll takes outside and a ball. Not a role that Brett Carroll is accustomed to. He has had the 3rd highest total of pinch hit appearances on the club behind Helms and Gload. But that's only 13 for Carroll, and he has just 1 pinch hit. Here comes a 1-0. Brett with a half swing, went around, tried to check on a high pitch, and it's a ball and a strike. So in the inning, first Hanley, then Gload, now Carroll. 3 consecutive pinch hitters. Hanley singled. Gload reached on the fielder's choice and, by the way, picked up an RBI. Now the 1-1. Down and in, almost got by Carlin to the backstop. Carroll skipping out of the way. 2 balls and a strike. Schoenweiss to Brett Carroll. Left fielder pretty much straight away, maybe a few steps to left center, as is Chris Young, the center fielder. 2 steps into left center, if that. Double play depth on the infield. Here's the pitch, and it's taken down and in. Gload the runner at first, Baker at third. The Marlins have used everyone now except the backup catcher, Ronnie Paulino. The kind of things that happen when you get behind early 6-0. Here's the pitch. A swing here, and that ball is drilled by Brett Carroll. It is deep to left. It is way back, and it is up, up, and away, and a 3-run home run for Brett Carroll. How about that? Carroll comes off the bench, 1 for 13 as a pinch hitter. They stay with the left-hander, Scott Schoenweiss, and Brett Carroll hits a home run to left field to give the Marlins an 8-7 lead. His third home run. Hit it out over the 376 sign in left center. First pinch hit home run of his career. His second pinch hit this year in 14 at-bats. And it's a home run to give the Marlins a lead here in the top of the 8th inning. Remember, the Marlins were down 7-0. Here's the pitch. And it's taken by Emilio Bonifacio. And a strike called. Emilio batting right now against Schoenweiss. The pitch. It's low. Nobody on base. At third, Reynolds plays into the edge of the grass. At first, Tracy off the line, but even with the bag. What a thrill that had to be for Brett Carroll. Here's the pitch. And a ball chopped to the left side. Backhanded and dropped by Ojeda. And Bonifacio is aboard. And the Marlins will have a shot for some add-on runs after taking the lead. That's going to go as an infield hit for Bonifacio. So he has a triple and an infield hit tonight. And remember, he has 18 stolen bases. He'll put some pressure on even the left-hander Schoenweiss. But I don't know how long Schoenweiss is going to stay out there because A.J. Hinch is making his way to the plate. He's going to talk to Chuck Merriweather, and we're going to have another double switch.
And despite squandering a couple of opportunities, ultimately they do come back. They do take the lead. Let's see if the bullpen can hang on. Love to get them some more runs.
So the Marlins now with an 8-7 lead, and Dan Uggla to bat. Bonifacio is at first base. Brett Carroll's 3-run homer, the big one, the big hit. Pinch hitters involved. Hanley got a base hit. Ross Glode reached on a fielder's choice, picked up an RBI. And of course, Carroll with the home run. Blaine Boyer on the hill to face Dan Uggla. Former Atlanta Brave. Romero in left, Young in center, Upton in right, and they're pretty much straight away with the corner outfielders shading toward the alleys. Well, the Marlins have come back and then some. They lead 8-7. Now the job is to hold on. The pitch low outside. Ball one. Or maybe get some more. Only one out here in the inning. But eventually it will come to holding on to the lead. Diamondbacks will be coming up in the bottom of the 8th. There's a toss to first base. Bonifacio back. He has 18 stolen bases, has been caught 7 times.
If the Marlins hang on and win, it would match the largest deficit they've ever overcome to win a game.
Wow.
7 runs.
There's a throw to first again. Gets by the first baseman, Chad Tracy. Already around second, headed for third is Bonifacio, and he'll make it before the Diamondbacks can come up with that throw down the right field line. E1 moves Bonifacio to third. The throw, the pickoff attempt by Blaine Boyer.
They were so concerned about him taking second that they Sent him all the way to third.
Gave him third.
That comeback in 2003 at Fenway Park. Remember the Mike Lowell home run?
Yes.
9-2 Red Sox at one point. 10-9 Marlins when it was all over. June 28th of 03.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. And a ground ball through the left side. Base hit for Dan Uggla. His fourth hit of the night. And a run batted in, and the Marlins have a 9-7 lead. Dan Uggla comes through. He's had 4 hits, has 1 batted in, and scored 1. He was on base for the THU home run in the 6th inning. And here he brings Bonifacio home. Another example of how speed can intimidate a pitcher. And without the stolen base, the errant pickoff attempt at first base sends Bonnie all the way to third, and he scores on the Uggla hit. THU to bat, 1 out of 3. And the pitch, and it's low and a ball. Now you think of the way Freddie Gonzalez played this inning and kept forcing the hand of A.J. Hinch. Here's the pitch, and it's inside, forcing the pitching changes. Stayed with the lefty-lefty matchup with Glode, saved Carroll to bat for Coghlan. Wow. 3-run homer. The pitch. A swing and a chopper to third. Up with it, Reynolds goes to second, and the throw pulls the second baseman off the bag. Everybody's safe. Uggla's safe at second. Cantu's aboard at first on a fielder's choice. E5 puts Uggla at second base. And the 9th batter of the inning, Cody Ross, will come up here. 9-7 Marlins. But you look at the way Freddie played this, Glenn, and he could have hit for Ross Glode once Schoenweiss came into the game, but he liked Glode against Schoenweiss better than Carroll against Schoenweiss, and then gave Carroll the at-bat. Everything worked. 9-7 Marlins. The pitch. Big high chopper out near second. Skips through to center field. Here comes Uggla around third. He's going to score, and the Marlins have their 10th run on the board. They lead 10-7 here in this 8th inning. That has gone as a base hit for Cody Ross, that chopper up the middle. And Hermita's going to bat for the 2nd time in the inning. And Mel Stottlemyre Jr. goes out to talk to the pitcher, Blaine Boyer.
You look up at the scoreboard, you see 10 runs on 15 hits. The other unsung heroes in this one, Dave, the bullpen. When your starting pitcher goes 2 2/3 and allows 6 runs, it's the bullpen that came on, did the job, and gave the Marlins a chance to rally here tonight. Badenhop 1 2/3 innings, Sanchez an inning and 2/3, Calero 1 inning. The bullpen kept the Diamondbacks right where they were, gave the bats a chance to rally late.
A 6-run 8th inning for the Marlins. They lead 10-7. And up for the 2nd time, Jeremy Hermita. Ross at first, Cantu at second. A pitch and a called strike.
And this is Boyer's ballgame. There's nobody up in the bullpen. They're down to just out there. John Roush and Clay Zavada. They want to stay away from their closer Qualls tonight.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, and a ball grounded through the hole at shortstop out into left field. Cantu comes around. He'll score. The Marlins pick up their 11th run. They lead 11-7. Jeremy Hermita with his 3rd straight hit. Rips one through the left side, through the hole at shortstop. Picks up his 2nd RBI of the night. Cody Ross stopped at second base. So Hermita at first, Cody at second, and John Baker up for the 2nd time in the inning. The 11th batter for the Marlins in the inning. Now a 7-run eighth inning. Boyer delivers low and outside, and ball one.
And it's the biggest inning of the season. The Marlins had a 6-run inning April 30th at Wrigley Field. That was the 10th inning in that game. The 7-run eighth here, new season best.
Well, late night baseball from Arizona. Here's the pitch. And Baker hits the ball high and deep toward left center. Back toward the gap. It's going to bounce off the wall. That's going to get at least one home. Coming around to score, Cody Ross. He'll plate the run. Marlins pick up yet another on a double by Baker into left center. Hermida stopped at third.
Eight hits in an inning, a new season high.
So Bake knocks in a run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Marlins have RBIs. An 8-run inning, and with one out, second and third for the runners. The Diamondbacks are going to play the infield in, and the pinch hitter, Hanley Ramirez, gets to bat for a second time in the inning. He had a base hit to right his first time. The pitch, low outside. His base hit to right loaded the bases. So now he's looking for his second pinch hit of the inning. Boyer comes set. The pitch to Hanley. Fouled. Oh, no, he swung and missed, and the ball gets by the catcher, Carlin. Coming home to score will be Hermida from third base. There's a throw made back toward Boyer. It tipped off his glove and rolled out toward third. No further damage done. Another run for the Marlins. Now a 9-run inning. That's a new club record. A 9-run 8th inning here. 13-7 Marlins, and it's been charged as a passed ball. The pitch to Hanley, fouled back. Hermida scores on the pass ball. Baker takes third on the pass ball, and now it's 1-2 on Hanley. Still just one away, and the Marlins have scored 9. Here's the 1-2, and it's low outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Marlins now have scored 13 runs on 17 hits. Got Baker at third, so still an RBI opportunity for Hanley. Playing for the first time since Saturday the 4th. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hanley fouls it off at the plate. You never know. I mean, I started to say, here we are, late night baseball from Arizona, and I wonder how many Marlins fans, and just baseball fans in general, kind of packed it in after the 6-0 or the 7-0 lead. Two-two pitch, and that's up and in. Hanley has to get out of there quickly. 3-2.
You don't go to sleep on the fish.
Ross Glode is on deck. And so we could have all 3 pinch hitters come up for a second time in the inning. How about that? Here's a 3-2. Hanley takes inside. He's on with a walk. So now first and third, 1 out. Ross Glode bats for the second time in the inning.
That bullpen's still quiet.
You know, we say this all the time, and I know, fans, you've probably heard it. You never know what to expect in the game of baseball. And every time you think you've seen everything, go to another game, you'll see something else you haven't seen. It's always full of surprises. And as many times as you leave, if you're a real avid fan and you leave the ballpark heartbroken, there are other times when you go and it looks like it's going to be one of those nights, and all of a sudden you have a 9-run 8th inning. Pitches high and outside to Ross Glode. So he was the second pinch hitter used by Freddie in this 8th inning, and he's up for the second time with Hanley at first and Baker at third. And Brett Carroll, who hit the 3-run home run as a pinch hitter, he's on deck. There's a ball chopped to the left side. Up with it, Ojeda goes to second for one, over to first, not in time. The run scores, and Carroll will get to bat. Baker scores from third. Glode picks up another RBI, reaching on a fielder's choice. That's the second time in the inning that that's happened to him. And now Brett Carroll is up for the second time. He hit the 3-run home run that put the Marlins on top. It's a 10-run 8th inning and a 14-7 Marlins lead. 3 pinch hitters all batting for a second time in the inning. Carroll, right-hand hitter, takes a strike. Ten runs in the inning. Eight hits in the inning. Here's the pitch, and it's low and outside. There was one error. There have been 2 walks in the inning. There's been a passed ball. There have been 2 errors in the inning. The pitch. And a bounding ball toward third, driving the third baseman back. Reynolds has it. Long throw to first. Dug out at first base by Tracy. And the inning comes to an end as Carroll grounds out 5-3. And a rousing cheer. The mock cheer goes up here at Chase Field from over 27,000. It finally comes to an end. And a 10-run inning for the Marlins sends this to the bottom half of the inning. And the Marlins are on top now, 14-7. We'll be back after this on the Florida Marlins Radio Network. Ross stays in center.
Bonifacio goes to third. Hanley stays in at shortstop.
Thank you. Here's the pitch. And it's high, ball 1. So Hanley at short. Bonnie over at third base. The pitch from Meyer up high.
So 10 runs on 8 hits. There were 2 errors. There were 2 walks. There was a pass ball. 14 men to the plate in the inning. The 10-run inning, the biggest in Marlins history. There had been 10 8-run innings in club history. The 8 hits in the inning, 1 shy of equaling a club record.
2-0 pitch. It's in there for a called strike, and it's 2-1 from Dan Meyer to Chris Young. The left fielder Romero on deck, and then Carlin. Myers pitch down and in, and ball 3.
And if the Marlins hang on and win, it will equal the largest deficit ever overcome to win a game. Now, if they do blow this one, Dave, that would also tie a club record, blowing a 7-run lead and losing. Let's hope we don't get to that.
One would hope. Here's a 3-1, and that's a called strike. For Dan Meyer, his 40th appearance, 2-0 record, a 1.89 ERA with a couple of saves, 33 1/3 innings. 3-2 on Chris Young, right-hand batter. Meyer, the left-hander, deals, and whoa, that missed low. A leadoff walk, not what Meyer wanted to do. Young goes to first base.
Now batting for the Diamondbacks, left fielder Alex Romero.
Meyer now have to work out of the stretch. Alex Ramirez, a left-handed batter. Alex Romero, I beg pardon. Called strike. Romero the other day had a pinch hit RBI single in a game against the Padres, a game the Diamondbacks won as they swept San Diego. Remember, the Diamondbacks came into this with a 5-game win streak. But Romero overall 3 for his last 13. They brought him up the end of June from their AAA club when Eric Burns went on the DL. Alex Romero. The pitch. And it is lined out into left field. That's a base hit. And the first 2 Diamondbacks have reached base. A walk and a hit. Luke Carlton, the catcher, 1 out of 3 on the night. He'll come up. We'll see if Dan can come up with a double play ball. Catcher John Baker out in front of the plate for a moment. Create your own Marlins collectible. Use a favorite photo of yours at the photo store, marlins.com. It's easy. You upload the photo. You choose from prints, mugs, magnets, a whole lot more. Place your order and you're done. 3 easy steps. It's at marlins.com. Here's the pitch. And it's low to Carlin, and that's a ball. One ball, no strikes to the right-hand batter. Baker out again.
For Meyer, this is his first appearance since Saturday. The bullpen has not a lot of work lately. If you think about the complete game by Volstad yesterday, a couple of 8-inning outings in the last 5 games before tonight, only 6 1/3 innings out of the Marlins bullpen. And in Meyer's case, it's been 5 days since he's pitched.
Yeah, and the first thing you look for, of course, is command, right? After layoffs,
he's been pitching so much. You know, before this stretch, it seemed as though he was pitching 3 days out of 4.
Meyer rubs up another new ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baker puts the sign down, and Meyer trying to get the ground ball here. Here's the 1-1, fouled at the plate. All of the other games played today and tonight have been put into the books. This is the only ongoing contest in the big leagues. The Marlins have a 14-7 lead. 14 runs on 17 hits. They've made 1 error. Diamondbacks 7 runs, 9 hits, have made 2 errors. 1-2 on Carlin, who singled in the 6th inning. That was off Brian Sanchez. The pitch on the way, and it missed inside and a little bit high. 2-2. Andrew Miller, 2 2/3. He gave up 6 runs, only 2 of them earned. On the home run by Upton in the 1st inning. Then he gave up 4 unearned runs in the 3rd and couldn't get out of the 3rd inning. Badenhop came on, went 1 2/3. Then he got hurt. Ball is hit hard through the left side. That's a base hit. Young will come to 3rd. They've got the bases loaded. Nobody out against Dan Meyer here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So Mark Wiley is going to go out and talk to Meyer. Let's pause for station identification on the Florida Marlins radio network.
You're listening to Florida Marlins Baseball on WAXY South Miami, a Lincoln Financial Group station, 790 The Ticket.
Well, Chad Tracy will be the batter, but right now Mark Wiley visits with Dan Meyer, who's given up a walk and a pair of singles.
Now batting first baseman Chad Tracy.
So while they are down by 7, the door has been opened here for the Diamondbacks to stage some kind of a comeback. Tracy popped up to 3rd base in the 6th inning. Mark Wiley back into the dugout. Dan Meyer, left-hander, New Jersey native. Here's the pitch. Fastball popped up left side. Going back into the outfield. Hanley wants this. Calls everybody off. Makes the catch. 1 away. That's one. He needs 2 more. Felipe Lopez, the second baseman, comes up. He's 0 for 4 on the night. Check out the 511 Traveler Information Program at 511southflorida.com. Check the Southeast region. You'll see that on the opening screen. Get all your traffic information. Know before you go. Dial 511. It's a free service of FDOT and MDX. Here's Meyer's pitch. And Lopez takes a strike. Lopez batting with the bases full and 1 out. Boy, we've had 27 hits in this game now. 21 runs scored. The pitch low inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And really, this is one, no matter how they do it, this is one the Marlins really have to have. A pitch, a swing, and a pop-up on the infield. Dan Uggla on the right side. Infield fly rule in effect. Uggla makes the catch. Now they're 2 down. And Augie Ojeda will be the batter. I mean, the Diamondbacks could look at it the same way, but from the Marlins standpoint, that's all we're really concerned with. You're down 7-0. And you get back in the game with 3 runs in the 6th, pick up another in the 7th inning. Now it's a 3-run deficit, and the team went out and scored 10 times, set a club record in the 8th inning. You've got to win that game. 2 outs now. Ojeda the batter. He looks at a strike. He is 1 out of 4 on the night, had a hit back in the 1st inning, and scored on the Justin Upton home run. By the way, in case I left you hanging when I said Badenhop got hurt, got hit by a batted ball hit by Parra, hit him on the left knee. X-rays were taken. He's okay. The pitch popped up again. Behind third, Bonifacio. He's got it, and that's all for the Diamondbacks. Meyer finally pulled it together, recorded 3 consecutive outs with the bases loaded, and the Diamondbacks come up empty. We go to the 9th on the Florida Marlins.
Writing.com.
For the Marlins here in the 9th inning, Emilio Bonifacio will lead it off. Bonifacio is 2 for 4 with a walk, has scored a run. Started the game at shortstop, finishing up at third with Hanley staying in the game. And Blaine Boyer stayed in the game for the Diamondbacks. He delivers outside and ball 1. The Marlins are up 14-7 here in the 9th inning. Bonifacio with a triple and an infield hit on the night. Boyer sets again. His pitch. Swing and a miss. Ten runs, 8 hits. All in the 8th inning. A record-setting inning for the Marlins. Team record. Here's the 1-1. Fouled away left side. Not the hit total, but the run total.
Here's one for you. Through 86 games, the Marlins have scored 10 runs in a game 5 times. Tonight, a 10-run inning.
Incredible. Marlins looking for their 45th win. Here's the 1-2. Sails high. Now, just taking a quick look out to the bullpen. Somebody is up. Can't make out who it is. Somebody's up on one of those bullpen mounds. Here's the 2-2. And Bonifacio laces this the other way down the left field line, but a foul ball. Emilio started to run it out, but it's foul. And the count 2-2 on Bonifacio. But let's look at it for just a moment from the Freddie Gonzalez perspective, the one that will sink in hours after this game ends. Do you think he would ever forget this one? Not a chance. Here's the 2-2. And a ball bounced to the left side. Up with it, Ojeda throws to first for the out. Ojeda playing for Stephen Drew. Drew is out of action, but probably not for long. He got hit by a pitch on the inside of the left knee last night. Sitting out tonight, and Ojeda playing. He's had kind of a rugged night over there. And I think the fans have let him know that it's been a rough night. Dan Uggla, the batter. A 4-hit night for Dan. And almost forgot about that in all that was going on in that inning. But here's Dan Uggla, turned in a 4-hit game. And it's his first of the year. Here's the 0-1. And it's cracked foul up to the left side. He started the night batting .223, and his average is up to .232. And it has to be particularly gratifying for him, having come out of the Diamondbacks organization as a Rule 5 player to the Marlins. One ball, 2 strikes. Boyer from the stretch delivers to Daniel. Swing and a miss. He went reaching for something low and goes down on strikes for the first time tonight.
First baseman Jorge Cantu.
Jorge Cantu coming up. Yeah, we had another first. It was a first this year for Dan Uggla. Another first, another pinch hitter for the Marlins in the 7th inning. Now, all the Marlins got out of that 7th inning when they had the bases loaded with nobody out was 1 run. It was scored by Andy Gonzalez, who had hit his first major league triple. The pitch to Cantu, lifted high into the air, center field. Waiting under this, Chris Young. He's got it. And the Marlins in the 9th inning go 1-2-3. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. 14-7 Marlins on the Florida Marlins Radio Network. Tracy, Lopez, and Ojeda on pop-ups on the infield. And so the veteran Brendan Donnelly comes on here to pitch now. And we've got Upton, Reynolds, and I got to see who's in that number 5 spot right now in their batting order. That's the pitcher spot, yeah. So they're going to have to hit. Tracy's in the game, Romero's in the game. They'll have to use. They'll either have to use Drew or Montero or a pitcher. 14-7 Marlins. Donnelly's ready. The veteran right-hander delivers, and it's in there for a called strike. Upton with a 2-run homer and a single. He's scored 2, stolen a base. Donnelly's second Marlins appearance. The pitch, and that's low. Brendan Donnelly, a 38-year-old. Turned 38 on the 4th of July. Born in the nation's capital. Here's the pitch, fouled away, right side. Donnelly last year coming off ligament transplant surgery. Got him 15 games with the Cleveland Indians. It's always a long way back, and the older you are, the tougher it is. There's a ball bounced up the middle. That's a base hit. Upton with his 3rd hit of the night. The leadoff hit here in the 9th.
Third baseman.
11th hit of the night for the Diamondbacks. Marlins up 14-7. Donnelly, who's pitched what seemed like to him forever in the minors, then with the Angels, got a chance in 2002, stayed with them through 06, went to Boston in 07, Cleveland a little bit last year. Ground ball to third, foul. Bonifacio guarding and was able to come up with it, but it was in foul ground. Tonight, the 320th Major League appearance for Brendan Donnelly. Out of the stretch, he looks at Upton, and then time was called at the plate. 0-1 on Reynolds. He walked twice early in the game. Since then, he struck out twice. Officially 0 for 2 on the night. Swings, fouls one away here off to the right side. The diehards are still here. But about 26,000 have left. 0-2 on Mark Reynolds. Donnelly kicks, fires, down and in. That was a good piece. If I'm not mistaken, a two-parter you did with Brendan Donnelly. Geff talking about his trials, and he's been through some.
Yeah, you see somebody get to the major leagues and have success, and you think, this guy's an overnight success. Where'd he come from? He had a long, long journey.
The pitch in the dirt, blocked by Baker.
Lots of forks in the road, released several times. I believe the Marlins are his 11th different organization. Hasn't pitched in the big leagues with all 11, obviously, but he's bounced around a lot. Was released after 1 year in the minor leagues by the White Sox. Almost hung it up. And next thing you know, he's pitching in the World Series for the Angels.
Here's the 2-2. And the ball is lifted in the air, center field. Waiting under this, Cody Ross. And Cody's got it for the first out. Upton returns to first. Reynolds is gone. And Stephen Drew is going to be the batter. So he'll come pinch hit here with a sore knee. Drew, a left-hand batter. Average at 252. Donnelly and the Marlins 2 outs away from putting this away, a game they'll long remember. Drew 252, 6 homers, 33 batted in, and he cracks the ball on the ground through the right side. Ugla dove for it, couldn't come up with it. Base hit for Drew, throw to third, but the runner gets in there safely. Upton. First and third against Donnelly with 1 out. That was so close to being a game-ending double play ball. Had that ball been just 2 more feet to the left, Ugla would have scooped that up, and they would have turned 2. First and third, 1 out. Chris Young, the batter. See, Drew pretty much your everyday player. That's only his second pinch hit appearance of the season. And he's now 1 for 2 pinch hitting. Chris Young's been on base 3 times. Couple of walks. He tripled back in the third. Officially on the night, 1 for 2. Hits it foul out of play to the right side. 0-1. Brendan Donnelly making his 5th career appearance against Arizona. The other 4 games, he pitched a total of 5 innings, came up a winner 1 time, has never allowed a run to the Diamondbacks in those 4 previous appearances. Donnelly sets again and deals. A swing here and a pop-up. Right field. Brett Carroll with a strong arm gets under it, makes the grab, fires toward the plate. It's cut off by Cantu halfway down the line toward home plate. So now 2 away. Alex Romero to bat for the second time. He faced Dan Meyer in the 8th inning and singled to left. (14-7) Marlins. And if you just tuned in, a 10-run 8th inning for the Marlins. Marlins were down 7-0 when they went to bat in the 6th inning. The pitch. Low outside, off the mitt of Baker, and jogging down to second, Stephen Drew. And that's going to be charged as a passed ball to John Baker. The pitch was well outside, and Baker got the glove on it, just didn't hold it. So ball one, no strikes, and two in scoring position for the Diamondbacks. And Alex Romero, the pitch. And Romero takes a strike. Now things are even up at 1-1. I mean, not only have the Diamondbacks gone 3-1 this year coming into this game against the Marlins, but over the years the Marlins haven't fared well, especially here. The pitch inside and a ball. So for a lot of reasons, the Marlins will feel good about this comeback. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. A swing and a fly ball left center. And coming over there as that ball is caught by the left fielder, Jeremy Hermida. And then he flipped the ball to Cody Ross. But Hermida makes the catch for the final out of the game, capping a tremendous Marlins comeback. They came back from 7 runs down, scored 10 times, set a club record in the 8th inning, and win the game 14-7 on a night that Freddie Gonzalez will never forget. The night that he wins his 200th game in the big leagues, the Marlins are down 7-0 and come back and win. So the Marlins are on the field for the high fives, and this is one of those nights. They'll gain ground on the New York Mets. They won't gain any on the Philadelphia Phillies, who won their ball game, but they'll gain a lot of respect throughout the league, again, as a team that will not quit. Down 7-0, back to win 14-7. The Marlins with a miraculous comeback, 10-run 8th inning, and win it 14-7. 14 runs, 17 hits, 1 error, 8 left. The Diamondbacks 7 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors, 9 left. Marlins win 14-7. Kiko Calero picks up the win. He's 2-0. And Scott Schoenweiss is the losing pitcher, 1-1. Time of the game, 3 hours, 43 minutes. And the official paid crowd, 21,558, 21558. Here at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, the Marlins sent 14 batters to the plate in the 8th inning and scored a club record 10 runs. Their comeback began in the 6th inning when they were down 7-0, and they picked up 3 runs on a couple of homers, a 2-run homer by Jorge Cantu, solo home run by Jeremy Hermida. They picked up another run in the 7th inning to close the gap to 3. And then the 8th inning, when it was all over, 10 runs on 8 hits, 2 Diamondback errors, a couple of walks in the inning, a passed ball, and the Marlins then put it away 14-7 over the Diamondbacks. Calero over Schoenweiss. The 5-game win streak ends for the Diamondbacks. They lose their 50th of the year. Only their 2nd loss in 5 games to the Marlins. So their record 36-50. For the Marlins, their 45th win against 42 losses. They've won 7 of the last 10. They've won 11 of the last 17 games. They've won 2 in a row. And get a big win to hand things over to Ricky Nolasco tomorrow night against Dan Herron. Just a great pitching matchup, Nolasco and Herron. And we'll be on at 9:10 Eastern time with Marlins on deck, 9:40 first pitch. And then on Saturday, the series will continue. It'll be on a little bit earlier on Saturday. John Garland against the lefty Sean West. And we wrap up play prior to the All-Star break with All-Star pitcher Josh Johnson on the mound against Doug Davis. A lot to talk about in this one. The other All-Star, Hanley Ramirez, coming in, having a hand in the late innings, finishing up the game at shortstop, so we would assume he'll be starting tomorrow night. And for the Marlins, just a win that'll take your breath away. 10-run 8th inning and a 14-7 comeback win over the Diamondbacks. Glenn's got all that to recap for you, as well as the scoreboard, let you know where the Marlins stand when this night and early morning hour back east comes to an end. That's all next. The 10th Inning Show with Glenn Geffner here on the Florida Marlins Radio Network.